Alrighty. It's time for Project Eden's Garden. Oh, yeah. Oh. I don't know too much. I just know this game came out like a month ago almost now at this point. Options? I'll just leave it be with how everything is. And there's a mystery. You know, I'm just going kind. Make it easier. Oh. Life has no meaning. We exist just by chance, born to a planet that didn't want us to begin with. It's up to the best of humanity to give the world a purpose. People like me, those who shine brighter than others, who have an influence on our greater society. Ultimates. We are known as Ultimates. Ultimates titles are awarded to exceptionally talented high school and college students. Doctors who can cure incurable. Engineers who build machines to improve millions of lives. The most influential politicians. The most creative architects. Those are people who deserve lifelong recognition, who define what it means to be an ultimate. Oh, we got voice lines.
A prodigy among prodigies, someone who simply can't be outmatched. I hold on to my title dearly, because it defines me. It's who I am. It's what gives me my purpose. Among a sea of mediocrity, I am a shining example of talent. And now, there's a school worthy of me.
To Mr. Damon Matsu, the ultimate debater. Congratulations! For your contributions as an ultimate, we cordially invite you to attend Eden's Garden Academy, a specialized college for academic-based talents. At our unique academy, you will not only develop a tighter grasp on your respective skill set, but you and the other ultimate students who receive this invitation will gain an ever important proficiency at leadership, communication, and persuasion. In an age where anyone can be called ultimate, we hope you will join us and assume your rightful place as the true face of talent. Please keep the contents of this invitation, as well as attached registration materials, strictly confidential. The integrity of our program is built on the foundation of privacy. Eden's Garden Academy, an ultimate academy for true ultimates. It was built in partnership with the Ultimate Talent Program, a government institution that was awarded ultimate titles to people for almost the last century. You don't apply for the UTPS schools, they scout for your students, which is how I found myself receiving a letter from Eden Gardens Academy. Looks to be an amazing school, immaculate architecture, incredible workspaces, and access to resources beyond anything I've ever seen. Everything about the school is perfect. It's truly worthy of being called ultimate. In my 18 years of living, I have accomplished more than most people could ever even dream of. Within this random and chaotic existence, it feels like I was destined to be great. After what seemed like hours of waiting, the train arrived for me. It wasn't as nice looking as I expected, at least not for a school of this caliber, but it was undeniably the one. With luggage in one hand and a pamphlet in the other, I boarded the train. This is the start of my new life, the start of an even greater career. For the first time in my life, I'll finally be among people as great as me.
Huh?
Look! Someone else is here.
It's the whole cast.
Huh? Someone else?
Hey, hey! Welcome to the Eden's Club! Well, it's more accurate to say Eden's Garden Academy's Club, but Eden's Club just has more of a ring to it, don't you think?
In front of me, spread out across the train carriage, was a group of strange looking people. A girl with pink hair, some guy in a wolf costume, one guy in a weird beanie staring intensely at me. What the heck? Are these creepy people really attending the academy as me? Apathetic to my situation, the train continued from its halt. Looks like I'm stuck here for now. I guess I should find somewhere to sit.
Hey, you! New guy! Over here!
Hello, can you hear me? I seem that caught the attention of one of the other passengers.
What now?
Ooh,
What if...
yeah, it is a Dr. Rafa fan game. Cool, so I was wondering something. Whatever it is, I'm sure you can ask an employee. I'm honestly not in the mood.
Uh...
Frowning and drooping his head, he walked away. Our character's sassy.
Howdy.
Excuse me, but you don't happen to know what the final stop is, do ya? A girl's voice suddenly chimed in from behind me. Geez, can people just leave me alone for 5 minutes? Not a clue, but you can try looking for her. The words got caught in my throat when I turned to look at her. This woman had to be twice my size. Huh? Is something wrong? Don't fret it, darling. Just see who else is around. So it seems like this person's more on the countryside of characters. With a small wave, she walked away. So people here just keep getting weirder and weirder. I really hope none of them are in my class. Yeah, the other Danganronpa protagonists were a lot more humble. They were just going a different route this time. Not wanting to be bothered any further, I quickly found myself a seat by the window. This situation was nothing like I expected, but at least the view from the train was nice. Mountains framed by a deep blue sky, crystal clear rivers that sparkled like jewels in the sunlight. It couldn't be more radical departure from home. Scenery continued to pass, time flying by with it. The chatter from others on the train eventually softened, leaving just me and the rolling mountains. Sniff. Nearby, a woman in professional attire turned her nose up to the air and started sniffing. Okay. After a moment, the expression on her face turned stone cold serious. The air doesn't smell right. What was that voice?
Whack.
Yeah, I saw something too.
Excuse me.
Okay, that looks like he's going to be the Byakuya of the game. Just by looking at him. Kind of chemically. It's almost like it's coming from
What about...
that bag over there. She pointed to the travel bag at the opposite end of the car.
Well, shoot.
Shoot, you mean the one right next to me?
Think.
I don't smell anything funky. Well, that's probably because of the helmet.
Pardon me.
Is that your bag? Nope, it was already there when I got on the train.
Weird.
That's weird. There's no name tag or anything. After inspecting the outside of the bag, he began fiddling with its lock. Pop!
Great.
Cool, you got it open. That wasn't the lock. Oh, uh-oh.
Huh?
Are you okay? Yeah, bro, I'm all good. I just feel kinda... Oh, there he goes. Oh,
Shit.
did he just pass out? From the same end of the car, the guy who had been staring at me earlier. I'm not feeling so good either.
Hang on.
What did you say? Good night. What the? People are dropping like flies.
Holy.
Oh crap, someone get help.
Real?
Let me try to alert the conductor or whatever. She ran over to the door that connected to the adjacent car. Rattle, rattle.
Oh, crap.
It's not opening. Why isn't it opening?
Stand back.
I want to try my hand at it. Can you step aside for a second? He yanked at the door, but rattle, rattle.
Bad news.
Damn, the car is locked up as tight as a prison.
Come off the grass.
But I left to take a piss like an hour ago. Let me try something else. The big man rolled his shoulders and threw himself against the door with all his might. He groaned and stepped back, revealing he hadn't even left a mark on the door. What? They did nothing? There's another boy who's fallen, a girl too. Why is everyone passing out?
Damn it.
Shit, maybe this isn't something to do with the bag the air around me has grown thick with a strange, pungent smell. I could taste it, feel it sting my eyes. Oh god, no, don't. As a futile plea left my lips, I felt my strength trail away with it. The world flickered around me, and then there was nothing. Vows woven by stitches and needles. The prologue has just begun. So is that just the prologue's prologue? Brr. Huh? What is that humming noise? It sounded almost like an air conditioner. But if it's an aircon, why am I so warm? I weakly opened my eyes. Above me was a concrete ceiling. A concrete ceiling? A body so heavy, but I had to get on my feet. I had to see where it was. Huh? It's a girl. Could it be that she's still breathing, but she's asleep, just like I was. Kneeling down to her level, I reached out my hand to shake her. Hey, can you hear me? No response. Bringing my face closer to hers, I repeated the question. Hey, can you hear me? Why isn't she waking up? Damn, do I have to? I actually have to. Holy. Okay then. Her eyes snapped open, causing me to jump back. I was just testing you.
Huh?
Testing me. To see what you would do. It's not every day you find a body on the floor.
That's...
So you're awake the whole time.
Correct.
I'll look up before you, yes. And she just let me sleep.
Anyways,
How long was I out for? Yeah, I'm getting the same vibes.
Not sure.
I don't know, I didn't wake up that long ago. When I first came to, I was also startled to see a stranger.
You see?
One can never know if they're in the presence of a friend or foe. Yeah, this is Coyote vibes very much.
Hmm.
Which is why I needed to see for myself how much I could trust you. By lying on the floor and making herself vulnerable, jeez, she makes no sense. As an excuse to break off the conversation, I started to look around the room. It was definitely some kind of boiler room, but there didn't seem to be a light switch anywhere. The only light came from the vent set far back in the room. Looking at my close surroundings, I was standing on a platform with stairs that led down to the rest of the room. The lower room was mildly flooded. I'll say the water reached a little above my ankles. I was it was a place that had clearly been abandoned for a long time. Even with all the strange things around me, my gaze kept returning to this girl. There was something about her that seemed almost familiar. Wait, that's it. She was on the train I boarded. Yeah, no kidding. She passed out with me on the train. Hey, we've met before. On that train.
Mm,
Things turned upside down not long after you arrived. A strange smell started to come from the travel bag, and then everything turned black.
right.
Right. Just what the heck was that?
listen to me.
I think it was a chemical agent. The bag must have been equipped with a gas bomb or something. Someone clearly wanted to knock us out. Sounds like she's been thinking hard about it. Maybe that's why it took her so long to
I
wake me
see.
up. Sure, I was thinking the same, but whose bag was it? Why do they want to knock us out? And why aren't we on the train anymore? Where are we?
Look at this.
Considering our surroundings, some sort of boiler room? As she raised a hand to push up her glasses, something large and metallic on her wrist caught my eye. It vaguely looked like a watch. Hey, what's that on your hand?
Well,
You tell me, it appears you have one as well.
Huh?
Oh, here we got the bracelets in this game?
What the?
Sure enough, I was wearing the same device. It's been fitted tightly around my wrist, but it felt like I was wearing nothing at
Damn
all.
it.
Hey, I'm not wearing this. As I grabbed a hold of the device and pulled, a tiny surge of electricity ran through my wrist.
how humiliating.
Sorry, I should have warned you. If you try taking it off, it shocks you. Thanks for the heads up. What's going on here? Why am I wearing this weird shock collar thing? Who put this on
Look,
me? You can touch the screen though.
Eh?
See? Like this. She tapped the face of the device. It slowly lit up, displaying a holographic image. Oh, so like a watch.
correct.
It's just projecting a blank screen for some
So,
reason. Anyway, it seems like we're stuck with this device for the time being.
moving on.
While you're sitting there, the least you could do is give me your name. We didn't have much of a meeting on the train, anyways. David Matsu, Ultimate Debater. I'm a student at Eden's Garden Academy.
Interesting.
How
Eh?
interesting. What it is.
Mm,
Thank you for telling me more than I asked for.
as for myself, you may call me Eva Tsunaka.
Eva Tsunaka. It's nice to meet you. I'm sure it is. The pain from the shock was finally subsiding. It's as good as a time as any to get a better grasp of this room. Maybe there's something in here that can explain the flooding, or even better, that annoying mechanical noise. Welcome to Project Eden's Garden. There's a camera on the top of the room. You can just see it pointing directly at us. Welcome to. A lot has happened already. I'm sure you're eager to investigate, but there are some things you should get acquainted with first. To access the trinket, or as Damon so coldly put it, the watch, press the F1 key. To view past dialogue, press the F2 key. To access the observation mode, press the enter key. Press the enter key again to exit mode. Oh, and use WASD keys to pan around the room. If you ever need to revisit this information, just check out the control panel. It'll be one key away, one F3 key away. That's all now. Go forth and explore. Oh. This is. Oh no, my F1 key doesn't work like that. Staring at me from the corner of the room was an expensive looking security camera. Had this been recently installed, it seemed better suited for a vault and crappy boiler room. You noticed that camera too? Yeah, it's really nothing out of place. Do you think someone's watching us through it? It doesn't look like it's turned on, so I doubt it. I see, perhaps that's for the best. What do you mean? If someone is watching us, it's possible they are the same person who put these wrist straps on us. She makes a decent point. Oh. Interesting. There might be something useful in the pile of dusty boxes. Light bulbs, duct tape, a bunch of screws. Nope, there's nothing in here but junk. There's a generator on the vent. Is this what's making mechanical noise? Seeing it in the water put me a bit over the edge. I was thinking of checking out the window above it, but now I'm not too sure. That seemed to be it for the room. The room's too run down for me to investigate anything. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Eva approach the pile of boxes and fish out a light bulb. Then, without hesitation, plop, she chucked it into the water. What are you doing? All of a sudden, she jumped off the platform we were standing on into the water. Seriously, what the heck are you doing?
Can't you see?
Exploring. You're not worried about the generator. Look at the light bulb I threw in the water. Notice how it isn't flashing? That means the water isn't conductive. Fair enough. I guess she was not worried about getting her shoes wet either. Okay, let's just give me a second. I took off my socks and shoes and quickly rolled up my pants. Trying to hide my discomfort from behind a cool face, I descended into the stairs into the murky water. The mechanical noise was getting even louder. It sounded like it was coming from the direction of the vents.
I see.
Yep, it definitely must be from the generator. We're lucky the water is conductive. Those exposed wires would be bad news otherwise.
Interesting.
For such a small generator, it sounds like it's running a lot of power. Not surprised. It's surprising with how this noise alone wasn't enough to wake us up. Whoever knocked us out on the train must have been pretty strong. Anyway, that explained the whirling noise. I wonder where all the power is going to. High up the wall was a vent. What could be on the other side? Do you want to see through that? Yeah, I do.
Listen to me.
Alright, I have an idea. But it will just take some physical effort. Like what?
Well,
Like getting on my shoulders.
Seriously?
I'm not doing that. If you get on my shoulders, I'll give you a boost and you can look through the window.
Sure.
But shouldn't I be the one giving you a boost? I don't think you could handle it. Saying that, she stood in front of the generator and motioned for me to come over. Make sure you tuck your feet behind my back. I walked over to Eva and awkwardly positioned myself on her shoulders. Well, do you see anything? Yeah, another vent and a room just beyond it. I can't see what's inside the room though. Both these vents are in the way. Taking a closer look at the boiler room vent, I noticed there were hinges bolted to the upper corners. Does this mean the vent can be opened? Wrapping my fingers around the gate in front of me, I pulled as hard as I could. Hey, I got it open. Can you see any better now? Although the second vent still obstructed a lot of the room, I was able to make out legs of a table and chairs. They were pretty fancy looking. It's the floor of some fancy room. We must be in a building with multiple levels. Weird that this vent opens into another room instead of outside. Eh? Just beyond the chairs in the very corner of the room, there was something peeking out. A person's legs. I felt my chest tighten. Is he also passed out? Hello? Can you hear me? No response. Dang. There's gotta be a way inside this room. Eva, can you let me down? There's someone in there?
I.
I think I think it's the guy. He's lying on the floor and I'm pretty sure he's passed out. He might know something we don't. If he's not there when he wakes up, if we're not there when he wakes up, we might lose him.
So,
The room's on this level above ours, he said. Right. Which means there must be stairs somewhere. I have to find them. To leave an area, press the R key. I'll confirm the choice with you, just in case you get any second thoughts. Let's see if there's anything. No. There's a problem. F1 key is one of the things we have to use, but my F1 key does not work like that. None of my F number keys do. They only work as a normal button because they also have other functions. So I hope it does not get any trouble. Actually, no. Let me talk to her, see if I can talk to her first.
hello.
What is it? Nothing. Okay, no. I guess I go to the next room. I never had a game that had used them before. As soon as I was out of the water, I threw on my socks and shoes and ran straight to the door. Upon leaving the room, I was greeted with an equally derelict hallway. The walls and the floor were an old matted color, with nothing else to them. No wall decor, no windows, no light whatsoever. However, there was one thing that stood out. At the very end of the hallway, where the corridor took a sharp turn, was what looked like to be sunlight hitting the wall. Does that mean there's an exit around the corner? Don't go running off without me. Huh? I've already inspected the rooms in this hallway, so you can just ignore them.
Eh?
When did you do that?
See?
While you were asleep. You weren't waking up despite my best efforts, so I decided to investigate on my own. Hang on, your best efforts? Poking you in the face, striking you by the feet. I even bridled carry you at one point. Not sure I can believe that.
To me.
Anyway, I haven't checked what's upstairs. I didn't walk too far from where you were
Come again?
lying. You didn't think to get help?
No.
You were obviously breathing.
Really?
That doesn't answer the question. You only started to wake up after I returned from my search. How does that get in the way of finding help? Unless you didn't want to leave me here alone. I can't figure her out at all.
Moving on.
This floor didn't turn up anything useful, by the way. The rooms were just a bunch of storage closets, completely dilapidated, filled with random stuff.
That's...
That was a case for every room.
It's the truth.
If you don't believe me, you can check for yourself. As my great grandmother's brother's friend's motivational calendar once said, you can't progress if you don't have the will to move. Please use the WASD keys to walk. Since you're in a hurry, press the shift key to sprint. Last but not least, proceed with caution. You never know what could be hiding around the corner. Okay, now this looks cool. The area very much does not match, but it works well. Caution. The room was almost identical to what Eva described earlier. There was no real organization or meaning to anything. It was just filled with completely random crap. I don't know, the stuff on the shelf looks like it's pretty organized.
see.
Yeah, that's right, let's move on now. I should probably listen to her. There's no reason for me to look inside this room, especially when we might have found help. Let's see. Now. Oh, it's, yeah. I'm not gonna check every room, I'll check like 2. Okay, this is even more messier.
Damn.
Correct.
Okay, she's not happy. Let's see. We got stairs. Oh. The upper floor was in a lot better condition than the one below, but that wasn't saying much. Water stains covered some parts of the walls and ceilings. I could only guess a pipe had broken and started leaking. There didn't seem to be any mold, at the very least.
So,
The room with the unconscious man should be above and adjacent to the boiler room. That means it must be on the other side of this hallway, correct? Yeah, given we walked away from the boiler room to get here. Alright, let's investigate. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of rooms.
There must be something.
no.
This is definitely not the room with the man. It's too close to the stairs. Okay, so I can't even check the other rooms. What's with that face? She looks so disappointed. Could this be it? It's locked. What in the world? Jeez, owls always gave me the creeps. That's an... oh yeah. Why are there owl people? That's a rabbit person. Well, the version without the mask. It was ages ago during middle school, I think. My class visited a really fancy museum. At this time, I've been remembering this man as a jester. He doesn't even have the right clothes. I guess it's this way. This is definitely not the right way. Wait, what? Then why make it look like that's the right way? Ah, this. Okay, we got masked people. This definitely this has to be the door. This must be the room. Taking a deep breath, I pushed open the large doors. Oh, wow, this is pretty stylish looking place. It's a lot better maintained than the rest of the building. Okay, the event should be. Ah,
Huh?
huh? Before I had a chance to react, the woman drove her fist directly to the side of my head. Who the heck are you? What the? Who the heck are you? Why did you just hit me? I'm not gonna embrace a stranger with open arms. You couldn't have been a murderer. So your instinct is attack everything you see? He already spared one guy in a suit. I'm not letting my guard down a second time. A guy in a suit? Hello. This guy, the outfit he's wearing, we met before, haven't we? I was about to say, I recall seeing your faces on the train. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the two of you were standing next to each other. Do you guys know each other? Not at all. We have only formally met a few minutes ago. Oh, well, you were still knocked out by that sleeping gas stuff, right?
Soybean.
Don't remind me, soybean.
Come again.
What? Yeah, that's right, I said it. You're a soybean, just like the loser next to me. I disagree, but we should focus on what happened on the train. I don't know what happened, but 1 second I was on the train, the next I was surrounded by total darkness. The place was just like solitary confinement chamber. I thought I was gonna suffocate in there. What are you talking about?
See that?
See that pantry over there? Yeah. Turns out the door was unlocked. You were inside the pantry? When she kicked open the door, I nearly jumped out of my skin. What the heck were you doing while she was in there? Waking up. Eh? Isn't it unfair? I just got stuffed in some tiny pantry while this guy had the entire floor to himself. Whoever responsible for this must have been jealous of my talent. You won't believe how many jealous turned violent into this industry. What's with the dumb face? You know who I am, right? Was I supposed to? Uncultured swine.
My name's Grace Madison, ultimate golfer. Don't forget it, Soybean.
I was about to say she looked like a golfer. The whole outfit screams golfer. Ooh, we got an image. Cinematic thing. The ultimate golfer, of course. Since the two of you were on the train, that must mean you're ultimate as well. What about you? Can you tell me your ultimate talent?
I'm Wolfgang Akade, the ultimate warrior. Here's my card.
Wolfgang Akire. Interesting name. And he's ultimate warrior. A warrior? It's way better than being a golfer, but for such a young looking guy, I didn't expect him to have a talent like that. His age must be part of what makes him an ultimate.
Pardon me.
You look confused. I'm not confused. I look too young. Is that what you think?
I understand.
I get it a lot. Even Miss Madison said it.
Whatever you say.
Because it's true.
Hold on.
Well, don't you think the same could be said for yourself? I'm not wise in the way of sports. I've always had an impression golf was an old man's business. I think everyone has that impression of golf. Not that young woman shouldn't take the reins. The sports probably needs a revival. It's a tough industry, but that's because we gotta fight for recognition, not sit around for 7 years and do all. Sounds like the average high schooler. Now that I think about it, hey, how old were you when you started college?
Thank you.
That's personal information I don't intend to disclose. You're a piece of work, aren't you? What happened to talking about the train? These guys seriously have their priorities skewed.
So,
You have them too.
look.
We're all wearing the same wrist straps. Really? You were busy talking, so I figured you wouldn't notice until I pointed it out.
Eh?
Wrist strap, you say? These are more like mini shock collars. Those are mutually exclusive. I heard you the first time.
Well,
So you tried taking it off, did you? Yep, same with you. Actually, it was me who tried taking it off. The stupid thing sacked me when I did.
Let's see.
I suspected it wasn't unique to Miss Madison, though I hadn't tried removing the strap myself.
strange.
Equipping everyone with a strap that shocks them. What could justify doing something like that? What's the purpose behind these straps?
Soybean.
Are you daft? It's to shock us. The thing is, we seem to receive a shock if we try to remove it.
How can this be?
So why aren't we allowed to remove these wrist straps? What I want to know is who can put this thing on us. The answers to those questions might be something we had to figure out ourselves. It doesn't make any sense. For me to be abducted and taken somewhere I don't know, surrounded by a bunch of strangers and forced to figure out why. It doesn't make any sense. Why is it happening?
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Are you talking to me?
No.
Look behind you. Huh? Confused, I turned around to see, but I captured everyone's attention. For a second, I thought I was seeing things. Peeking at us from the corner was a small girl. Who are you? What the? Is that a gremlin?
Madison.
Miss Madison, you'll scare her if you shout like that. Hmm? The girl had left her position by the corner and slid into the room. Now I could see for certain that she was a kid. What the heck? Why is there a kid here? For your information, I am not a gremlin. Did your mother never teach you manners? It's rude to back talk strangers you never met. No way, the gremlin can talk. I just told you I'm not a gremlin. If we must take comparisons, I'd rather you liken me to something more elegant. For example, a kappa. That's a yokai, I think. Yeah, that's not much better.
Careful.
Please be careful what you say to her. This girl seems awfully young.
Can't you see?
She doesn't seem young, she is young. What's going on here? Why is there a child wandering around? You know, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I also saw you on that train. You were hidden behind some other people, so you were pretty hard to see. I assumed you were sitting down or something. I didn't even cross my mind you might have been an actual kid. Welcome, crazy noob. Cowering behind a bunch of strangers, huh? Figures I didn't see it. Still, what the heck was it even doing on the train? That's what I'm wondering. Kids got no business with people like us. What? I do not appreciate your misguided comments about my age. I am a professional just like the rest of you.
No.
I mean, you mean you're an ultimate?
Is that really true?
I didn't think children could qualify as ultimates. But as I keep repeating myself, I am not a child, I am a professional.
Jeez.
What was it that you're good at? See, she's not a child. She's just small. So you desire to know my talent, do you? Normally I decline further conversation with rude people like you. But given our circumstances, I guess I can be seen game on the matter.
I am Toshiko Kaira, the ultimate matchmaker. Nice to meet you, I suppose.
The ultimate matchmaker. Interesting.
That's
A matchmaker? Aren't you a bit young for something like that? The ground is obviously lying about having a talent. I bet it snuck its way onto the train because I saw all the commotion. Now the little kid is stuck with us.
look at what you've done.
Now look at what you've done. You made her upset. Upset?
Of course not.
Of course not. I know better than to take a gremlin seriously. Don't you think you can just use my own insult against me?
Miss Madison.
Grace. I'm guessing Grace Madison is British. I 100% think she is British. So if I had things right, all 5 of us were on the train. What about the other people who boarded it? Do you think they've been kidnapped as well?
Indeed.
That is correct. Apart from us, there are 11 other people. 11 counting us. That makes 16.
Correct.
That's the same number of people who were on the train.
Quite.
I've become well acquainted with them. The only person I've been avoiding is the frustrating boy I woke up with. You wouldn't believe his manners. And she also woke up with another person. I'm starting to see a pattern here, as does everyone else.
Suppose.
Speaking of, would you like to meet the others? I think they should know about you four. That would be helpful, yes.
Wonderful.
Very well, I shall serve as your guide as we embark on this new journey.
Take this seriously.
Don't sound so happy about this. This is a kidnapping, not a college orientation. Then again, it's not like I would go to most orientations willingly. Maybe these two events aren't that different after all.
Well,
Where are the others right now? Obviously, they're outside this building. There's an exit not too far from here. Follow me.
For the best.
She seems to know more than us. It wouldn't hurt to entertain. Let's see what this thing has up its sleeve. Outside this building, so there's even more to this place than we've previously already seen. Are there other buildings just like this one? Exactly how big of an area are we exploring? Standing here won't give me an answer. I should find the exit already. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. Like I just can't explore anything. Looks like the others are gone. Whatever. I work better alone. That's just a long hallway. I'm guessing it's this door. Yep. You're late. You're waiting? Only because the gremlin insisted. I didn't realize he fell behind until she said something. I'm ashamed to say the same.
well,
By the way, what are the others doing right now? Exploring something else, probably. You don't sound very sure of yourself.
healthy.
They had the nerve to tell me to stay put while they inspected the area. If they don't want me exploring that, I suppose I'll explore it by myself. Oh, it sounds like she wanted to show off.
You done yet?
Who cares about that? The guy is here now. Let's go already. Yes, and the others will realize your foolishness.
Wonderful.
Onwards to the great outdoors. Yes, wonderful. The older girl turned her face to the to face the door, and instead of pushing it open, she reached for a lock I hadn't even noticed before. Click! The door opened with a long street grill, and we finally saw what was waiting inside. Ooh. Standing before us, bathed in sunlight, was a massive Romanesque courtyard. Finally, some sunlight. This courtyard, I wonder if we can escape by climbing over the hedges. The hedges are tall, but if we try looking for a rope,
Hold on.
I doubt it's that easy. The devices we're wearing will probably shock us. Let's see if you're right.
Soybean.
Go on, soybean. Climb the hedge.
Stop.
What the?
No.
Unfortunately, it's pointless to climb the hedges. How do you know? If you take a closer look at the sky, you should understand. The sky? Yes, you see anything strange? Anything strange? No, there's nothing standing out to you. Wait, huh? As my eyes tried to adjust the glare of the sun, I noticed the shape of the clouds weren't normal at all. It's almost as if it was concave. The sky is curving inward.
How can this be?
Could it be we are looking at a hologram?
On.
Of this size? No way. There's gotta be a 360 projection or something. You mean the sky we're looking at is actually a video panorama? It sounded completely ridiculous when I said it out loud, but at the same time, it made too much sense. This is a 360 projection. Would that mean we're inside some sort of dome? Such is the truth I have long recognized. That's
Come off the grass.
what you knew the sky was fake. Why you call this yard the great outdoors? It's for dramatic effect. In truth, I haven't seen natural sunlight since the moment I woke up here.
A cause for concern.
No sunlight. You really didn't see any windows in this building?
No.
No, none at all. The windows means no oxygen. We might be suffocating as we speak. You survived this long. I think we're okay. You're acting way too nonchalant. Does this place bother you at all? It's a dome with a fake sky. That's like something out of a movie.
So,
Maybe whoever brought us here wanted to recreate the feeling of being outside in lieu of actually letting us outside. Sure, if you want to make broad
you
assumptions.
see,
In a situation like this, making assumptions is all you can really do.
Fair.
Whether or not the sky really is a projection, it's not something we can do much about. For now, we should remain focused on meeting the other students. Sniff. Huh? Above the insane chatter, I heard a quiet, high-pitched noise, sort of a mouse squeak. It was so unlike the current conversation it almost stood out. Hey, can you guys stop talking for a second? Is there a problem?
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Hear what? It almost sounds like whimpering.
strike me pink.
Wait, I just heard it.
Oi, you.
Who the heck is crying? Quit hiding and come talk to us. Do ignore the shrew. Her bark is worse than her bite. Who are you calling a shrew? The crying seemed to have stopped, but whoever it was refused to come out. Can we just leave them be? If they want help, it's not our issue. Don't be so heartless. It could be someone in need.
Careful.
To the girl that is crying, please excuse my friend here. None of us are here to hurt you, so I think you should come out. Hiding will only make you more scared.
Think.
You think that's going to convince them? It worked.
Eh?
Hello, I wasn't,
Hello.
how about you tell us your name first?
Eloise Toner. I'm the ultimate fencer. It's really nice to meet you all, even if it doesn't seem like it.
I can see someone in the background. You can see someone in the background. I guess that's next. Ultimate Fencer, was it?
Strange.
That's strange. Someone who's prolific at fighting shouldn't have a reason to hide from people. Actually, it doesn't focus as much on courage as people think. The key to fencing is the ability to protect your opponent's moves, along with having the agility to avoid them. And I think Brash might get you the first move. But it's a steady and a cool mind that secures the win. That's kind of impressive.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I get really excited when it comes to subjects, so I can't help but gush.
Listen to me.
I had to ask, why were you hiding from us? She stood there quietly, deep in thought.
Okay.
When I woke up, I had no idea where I was, why I was here. There were several strangers around me, and they were all so panicked as well. I felt like a mouse caught in a trap. Everything around me was so suffocating. That's why I ran away immediately. I really don't like it when people can see me like that. I came to call my mom. My phone wasn't on me when I came to.
I understand.
If it's any research, it seems my friends and I are in the same situation.
Seriously?
That's probably the last thing she wants to hear, since when were we all friends?
Well,
Was there anyone with you when you woke up? Yes, but I didn't get to talk to them before I went to flight mode. Sorry. So this girl's just as clueless as us, but it seems she also passed out on the train. Dang, what the heck is going on here? Were you the only people in that building, by the way? Mm-hmm. Miss Kayura is currently introducing us to everyone. Would you like to join?
Maybe.
I think I want to stay where I am. Very well. When I meet the others, I'll tell them to gather here. That way you won't be alone. Also, if everyone's together, we can discuss our next course of action. Yeah, I'll be here. If it makes things easier for everyone.
Many thanks.
Many thanks, Miss Tallner. Compared to before, she looked a lot calmer. Wolfgang knew how to handle a situation pretty well, or maybe he just knows how to handle people in general. I guess it's admirable. I can walk around. Here it is. Here's a strange man. A guy was leaning against a hedge with his hands in his pockets.
Nice.
Looks like you found some friends.
Indeed.
Indeed, why don't you say hello? He looked at us and waved. I resisted urge to wave back.
Attention!
Have you no manners? Talk to them.
All good.
Alright, my bad. Clearly amused, he stood up straight and faced us.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry about that, I didn't mean to act like a dick. Today's just been all over the place for me. No excuse, I know.
I suppose.
I suppose we can forgive you if you give us your name. Easy enough. I'm Desmond Hall,
They call me the ultimate marksman.
Ultimate Marksman.
Hear me out.
A marksman, eh? That must mean you're really good at shooting stuff. That's right, I have a really good eye for my targets. Guns, bows, slingshots, you name it. I've hit bullseyes with it.
Hold on.
With all of those weapons, I must ask, you haven't killed anyone, have you? Whoa, never. I realize my talent might leave some people on edge, but I only practice on stationary targets. Moving targets are really out of my comfort zone.
Believe me.
Believe me, I've never taken a human life. It's a good one. I feel like that could be foreshadowing, but it could also be misguided foreshadowing. In the future chapters, it could be the thing where like they make it think it's him, but it's actually not. For such a serious question, he composed himself pretty quickly. I guess this guy knows how to keep his cool.
So,
So where's your partner? We have all had one to my knowledge. Oh, you mean the pirate guy? There's a pirate? He was, well, he was fine, harmless for the most part, just a little too extreme for me to be around. In situations like these, I prefer to keep to myself. I know that sounds less cooperative, but
Yeah,
yeah, I know what you mean. Wait just a second.
all right.
Huh?
You.
You did just say a pirate. It sounded dumb, I know, but I wouldn't buy it either if I hadn't spoken to the guy myself. I've gotta see that one freaky dude on the train, right? The buff one, the dragon tattoo? What's with that face?
Yup.
Yep, that's your man. He went through the door over there, so I gotta see him.
Totally.
We have fun with that. Just saying, the guy's a little out
By
there.
the way,
By the way, Desmond, do you see that girl in the gray uniform over there? I told her I'm going to bring everyone here. I think it's important we discuss the current situation as a group. Could you give her some company while I'm gone?
easy enough.
Oh, sure thing. The others are an odd bunch, so good luck convincing them. He may act casual, but being the ultimate marksman must have a lot of diligence. Always keeping a steady hand, always thinking on your feet. There's probably a lot to learn from someone like that. Everyone else must be in the building up ahead. Perhaps they are discussing something.
My.
Let's head over there and find out, shall we? Let's see. The grass. The 3D environments. Let's see if I can break physics. Oh. No. Okay. They have that worked out at least. Better than Garden of Bam Bam, where you could just like knock over everything. Oh geez, there's a lot of people. Is that a tree? That thing has to be like 60 feet tall or something. A sight to behold, isn't it?
That's not it.
Let's not get too excited, it's only a tree. I'm not even sure we can call it
Could
that.
you explain?
Care to elaborate? I don't get quite what you mean. Eva bent down and crushed one of the fallen leaves in her hands. I didn't hear anything crunching or tearing. Yep.
Interesting.
This is the fox tree.
Impossible.
How could someone possibly manufacture a tree of that size? If it's real, explain why those leaves don't make any noise when I break them down. I mean, I've broken down tree leaves before and they make a noise. That expression said it all.
Quit it.
Why the heck is there a huge big tree?
Indeed.
It must be hard pressed to find a school of insulation like this. You'd be hard pressing to find it anywhere. I guess like you'd only see this in a museum or something. I'm guessing it's like one of those big trees, like in the Lorax movie, where it just gives out oxygen.
In any case,
This building certainly has a strange aesthetic. That's one way to put it. The tree was in the center of a large circular room. Surrounding it were a bunch of people I recognized from the train. There must be others Toshiko was talking about. Counting the two we met, this is everyone, correct? Correct.
What's wrong?
Is something wrong?
See?
If everyone from our train car is here, where are the other people who were on the train? That's a good point. There were other people, right?
sure.
Of course, the academy said they reserved that train for the students. Yeah, but did you actually see anyone? I never left our car. I know Miss Madison did. Huh?
I apologize.
You mentioned leaving the train, leaving for the bathroom, never?
I see. I see.
Oh, right. I passed a bunch of students on my way to the crapper. I didn't talk to them though.
Strange.
They had to have heard the commotion in our car. Why didn't they help us? Maybe they were also knocked out?
Who?
I doubt it's something we could answer right now. Can I just introduce you to the others already? Yes, we should familiarize ourselves with other people who are currently here. Yeah, I guess that's the only thing we can do right now. Regardless, the whole thing was pretty baffling. But the other students on the train passed out. Where are they now? If they didn't pass out, why didn't they not help us escape our car? Okay, see this right here? This is a doorway. 100%. But that also right there, like, that's an elevator shaft. At least, no, that's just like a cage door. There's a doorway in the tree. Maybe this is like the elevator or something. There is one. There's a pirate. Glad to see you're alright, kid. Of course I'm alright. You gave everyone a scare running away like that. I really thought we could catch you, but how fortunate that the door came equipped with a lock. Sigh. However, it was all worth it. Look at these people I befriended during my exploration. I'll give credit where credit's due. You came back with plenty of spoils.
Oi, you.
I'm gonna talk for a second. You're a pirate, right? Shiver me timbers, ahoy matey, that kind of pirate stuff, right? She went full out generic pirate. I'm not a pirate, I'm a ship captain. There's a huge difference. A ship captain? You don't need to be so loud. She was just asking a question. Just a question? For guys like me, that pirate nonsense is a tired stereotype. Pirates live off stealing and causing trouble. We ship captains are nothing like those low lives. If you're not a pirate, then explain the clothes. Do these not look like the clothes of a pirate? Do these look like the clothes of a pirate to you? Maybe not a real one, but exaggerated stereotype, sure.
Please don't.
It's probably best you leave this man alone. I take it he's dealt with our kind before.
My mistake.
I never like to soil the mood, but May can only stand so much.
I'm real sorry.
Sorry for losing my cool. Okay, whatever you said, you were a ship captain, right? This guy was acting weird, but I want to get more out of him. I never pictured a ship captain receiving an invitation from Eden's Garden Academy, especially not someone like this guy.
That's right.
That's right. I know the seas like the back of my hand, every river and waterway within the north and southern waters. I'm the king of the seas.
Hero
Oh.
of the storms. I am John de la Mer.
No, I don't think he's the biker. There's someone else who's, I'm pretty sure, is the biker. Ultimate ship captain. King of the seas, hero of the storms. Do people actually call him that, or did he come up with those names himself?
Is that really true?
You know every river and waterway, is that really true? Yep, I studied every map I possibly can. Of course, I haven't actually been everywhere. According to a stingy little thing called Border Patrol, that's known in some parts as trespassing. He has a point. I may be king of the seas, but I'm not above the law. I suppose that's good enough.
I see.
Either way, it's not like it matters much here. For the looks of it, we're nowhere near the ocean.
Give it to me.
Fortunately, life as a captain has accustomed me to the unexpected. You lads can trust in me. I will protect you if you were my own crew. Protect us from what? I suppose from whoever put these wristwatches on us. Then again, there doesn't seem to be anyone else in this place apart from us.
How's that sound?
Welcome, Omi. Guess that means our only obstacle is finding an escape. Not too big of a risk, eh? All we have to do is find where we entered, then Viola, sweet freedom. I figured you would like him. For such a simple conclusion, we are making a big deal out of it.
By the way,
It may interest you to know that people are gathering outside the building. Miss Kagura explored. We want everyone together so we can discuss what to do next. Would you like to join?
To know.
Always good to keep people on the same wavelength. See you there, mate. That guy's not at all what I expected. Funny, he was every bit as dumb as his appearance. What was that? It's Academy of thinking of fighting someone like him. Gee. Oh my gosh, even more people spawned. Now this, I'm pretty sure this is a biker. Come on, man, just say something. Come on, please, pretty please. All I wanted was your name. Ah. Oh, it's more people. Hey there. What's the matter with him? I don't know. I spent ages trying to get this guy's name, but he won't say anything.
Simple.
If he's being a weirdo about it, just ignore him. Who are you anyways? Who am I?
The name's Jeff Dawson, Ultimate Drag Racer. Nice to meet you, shrimp.
The ultimate drag racer. A drag racer, given his outfit, that comes to no surprise. Aren't you warm in that suit? Are you confused? There's a fan inside the back of my helmet that emits cool air. Kind of like fans in car seats that cool your butt. Isn't that super rad? With the way he yells every word, he could make anything sound like a big deal. Only issue is, they don't extend to the rest of my suit. Then stop wearing the suit. I walk around naked? I meant wear different clothes.
So,
You should also have an ultimate talent, correct? Would you mind sharing it? The silent contest.
My name's Mark Bursky. I produce music.
Mark Bursky. So a music producer? Yeah. Ultimate music producer.
It's nothing.
But it's mostly bad remixes and stuff. No man, your music is wicked good.
Really?
You know my songs? Nope. Don't even have to, you're the ultimate music producer. That just about says it all.
moving on.
I assume you two also look up at this place, right? Do you have any idea what might be going on? This whole shebang did come out of the blue, but to be honest, it feels a lot like an extreme haunt. Do you know what that is? No, I don't.
It figures.
Figures, you don't look like the type.
Hey,
Meaning,
You following?
anyway, extreme haunts are really intense horror attractions. Think a haunted house cross of a survival horror game. Staff will chuck you underground tunnel systems, trap you in coffins, anything to scare you. I'm pretty good with the coffins, not so much the
it's
tunnels.
not important.
What's this guy do with us?
Catch my drift?
See, there are a couple of places that are known for starting their haunts with a simulated kidnapping.
For real?
To make it feel as real as possible, they'll even take you when you least expect it. The thing is, they can't just jump anyone. You gotta consent to it first. The heck, I never agreed to be kidnapped.
Gross.
Extreme hunts and people know better than involving in that crap.
Well,
Maybe we consented to our kidnapping without realizing. Huh? For example, the letters we received from the Academy. Is it possible those invitations were actually consent forms in disguise?
Really?
Don't tell me I actually believe this guy.
correct.
Given what we've seen so far, I'll wager anything's possible. Is that really what's happening here? Accepting that letter asking me to join Eden's Garden Academy, did I knowingly agree to this? Well, that's just a theory. We won't know what's going on until we explore some more.
In any case,
We know some people who might be interested in your theory. They're gardening by the courtyard outside. You can join them if you want.
Adios.
Sure thing, let's go, Mark. Though he looked like less enthused, he let the drag racer take him by the arm and lead him away. Could it really be possible? Were the letters we received actually consent forms in disguise? Is this some kind of messed up attraction? What does that say about Eden's Garden Academy? Is it part of the charade? Is Eden's Garden Academy even real? I should know better than think nonsense things like that. If the academy was fake, someone would have already blown its cover. It's more likely this is happening unbeknownst to the academy. Okay, when it comes to the music producer, if we ever hear their music, I'm fully expecting to be remixes of Danganronpa music. I'll talk to her.
Yo! I'm Cassidy Amber, the ultimate pro gamer. Don't forget it, Kay.
That's what I'm guessing the music's going to be because it specifically pointed out remixes. Pro gamer. I'm guessing she's Canadian.
very nice.
Jumping right into the introduction, I like it.
Yep.
Making a good first impression is key to grabbing the attention of your viewers. Especially you have over 20 million of them. Gotta earn that watch time.
Is that really true?
20 million? Is gaming really that important?
Duh!
It's not that just gaming, it's pro gaming.
Yo!
Facing off against opponents in a large audience with prestige and prizes on the line, the stakes can't get any higher. While her talent is pretty frivolous, her attitude towards video game competition is somewhat impressive. It's sort of like how I feel about debating. Oh, question.
Hello?
What is it? Do you guys know if this place has internet? Haha, I promised my comrades my streaming schedule wouldn't change after starting school. So I'm kind of freaking out.
Come again.
Your comrades.
Hey, hey!
Cassidy's comrades. They're the biggest fan community on the internet. She must mean her followers, being a streamer and all. Her fan base. It would definitely explain the hat.
Curious.
You must be very wealthy then. I've heard that popular streamers earn a lot of money, especially from subscriber donations.
Indeed.
Ah, there are many stories about young men falling prey to the infamous tiered subscription. They're calling out Twitch like that. They are rendered forever unmarriageable. Such a shame. So how many suckers have you swindled with that? With such a large fan base, you must be ranking in dough. Oh,
The hell?
what's with that
I
face?
see how it is.
You think my only motivation is money, don't ya? Well, duh, why else would you be a streamer?
Bourgeoisie scum.
Typical. Okay, I'm not pronouncing that. Whoa. I stream for the betterment of the human race. As the leader of Cassidy's comrades, it is my duty to redistribute. I can't pronounce. Most of my earnings to the masses. You mean you give away all your money?
Yep.
I do tons of expensive and generous stunts on my channel. Most of it is for charity, but sometimes it's for random subscribers. One time I bought a spaghetti factory and donated it to a public school. Those kids will never have to pay for lunch again. She puts the money to good use. They probably gotten sick of eating pasta every day. All these giveaways are streamed too. They're really popular, so I get tons of views and donations from them.
Impressive.
The Impressive you managed to commodify the act of charity. Of course, I gotta reserve some money for basic necessities. A truckload of chocolate soda being one of them.
Duh.
But it's not a problem for a person like me to have money since I earn it through my own hard work.
So unfair.
The real problems are the people who make billions every year, even though all they do is sit around, drink cocktails, and stare at their own stock profile. In fact, I can't even detect the rancid stench of a morally bankrupt billionaire in this very academy. I bet they're plotting to profit off her suffering as we speak. This girl's honestly pretty deranged, though. That might be why she has such a large audience. Regardless, it doesn't explain why people like her was invited to Eden's Garden Academy.
Anywho,
As worried as I am of future confrontations between you and the most affluent students, I suggest you head over to the building I investigated. We've been telling other people to gather there. Alright, it was nice meeting y'all. Let's see. Oh. Let's see her. So you all got caught up in this too, didn't you? I remember seeing the five of you on a train. You're really ultimate students, huh?
Correct.
We wouldn't have been on the train if we weren't. Just making sure. I knew the education sector had low standards, but are they really just handing out titles to anyone who asks? What the heck is your damage? Huh? Oh, me, that's not a guy. What's the matter? I know that this person, as in personality, she's the person that's been ruining my magazines. Ever since her interview with Rich People's Digits, her stupid success stories have been plastered everywhere. The youngest ever self-made billionaire, pioneer of the agricultural industry, blah. Did I hear that right? This girl we're talking to, is she actually? I'm flattered you memorized my resume. Your resume? So those things she said weren't an exaggeration?
if I may ask,
This is news to you. Anyone knows about Winona? Winona? That would be my name, yes.
Although, many call me the ultimate entrepreneur. Origins aside, it's one good title.
The ultimate entrepreneur. She doesn't even have the last name. No wonder she gave off such an intense aura. This girl probably has enough money to buy an entire country. So that doesn't mean I'm going to let her talk down to me. So she has looks, talent, and wealth. She would be truly a suspicious match.
Interesting.
Why would a billionaire need to attend a school like Eden's Garden Academy? I thought it would be an opportunity to make connections with the well-established geniuses of my generation. She has a good point.
Nasty.
Now that I'm aware of the lax admissions process, I'm leaving the first chance I get. And not because you've been kidnapped. You can't leave. Destiny has decreed that I must guide you towards a wondrous romance. I'm not really interested in that. I'd rather receive financial reparations from the Academy. At the very least, let me be your steed. With my divine foresight, I shall lead your legal battle to victory. After I fell asleep in my train car, someone must have carried me on dumping next to the tree here. Why did no one stop them? Were there no precautions in place to stop someone from manhandling a student? I say it was an extreme impetude on the school's end, but since it appears I'm not the only victim,
What a joke.
well, that makes things a lot more sinister. So she thinks someone carried her here? It's possible, I guess. They could have transferred us from the train by vehicle and carried us in. When you woke up, was there anyone with you?
Honestly,
Yep, but she was weird, so I left her. You're a walking stereotype.
See?
You know as much as you do. The five of us would walk around talking to other students that were on the train. The rest of them are congregating outside. Once we meet everyone, maybe we'll be able to figure out what's going on. Say, why don't you join them? I think I'll take you up on that offer. Such a relief that one of you actually had something useful to say. That girl is a piece of work, but given the recent happenings, she's not worth the stress. More importantly, what happened to us? It's too much for a single pair of hands. Someone had to sneak onto, maybe even hijack that train. Plant a chemical agent that carried everyone they knocked out. There's gotta be more than one person behind us, a group maybe. The question becomes who and why. Yeah.
Golly.
What's this? Some more friends? Yeah, this is the girl on me.
Stop.
Let's not go that far. I don't even know your name or talent yet.
Wait just a sec.
Then let me tell you.
Hi,
My name is-
Ingrid Grimwallen. I'm the ultimate blacksmith.
A real blacksmith, eh? Is it anything like how the movies depict it? Have you ever made swords out of molten metal? Not just swords, but tools, armor, statues. If you can name it, I can forge it. It's never an easy undertaking, I will admit. Sprained muscles are par for the course, but the same way climbing a mountain is painstaking, but reaching the top delivers a high you can never forget. The struggle is all for the outcome. See? No wonder she's built like an athlete. Her job sounds like a non-stop, high-intensity exercise. So, how has your kind not gone extinct? Extinct? Made redundant by technology.
Can't you see?
Aren't there ways to make specialized weapons without overworking yourself?
Well, I don't like to admit it.
Against modern machines, it's true I'm not equal match. Because I think I'm better than them. Those hunks of metal may look cool, but their creations lack the human touch. You gotta keep things natural, traditional, and that's when truly amazing things happen.
Would you look at that?
If my creation touches the heart, it's better than anything made by machine. And perfections be damned.
My.
Ooh. Better than machines, eh? People have always told me my skills are impressive, but I'm yet to be compared to a computer or something. How come a blacksmith can receive that sort of acclaim before me?
Could you explain?
There's always been a demand for handmade things, especially nowadays. Does your audience skew older by chance? Older folks, movie producers, board game enthusiasts, even the occasional youngin'. These are all people who visit me.
Wowie.
It's great when I can relate to most of my clients. Their excitement is mine. Especially exactly which clients does she relate to?
Moving on.
In any case, are you the same as us? Were you kidnapped on that train and taken here? Oh, I wouldn't say kidnapped.
Come again?
What, did you not black out on that train? No, I did.
No?
Then how else would you describe the situation? Maybe it's a surprise excursion.
Hiya.
Better yet, an surprise exam. The people running this program are just putting our abilities to the right.
Take this seriously.
That's stupid. If this academy was that unhinged, no one would continue attending it.
Let's get going.
Well, you know, whatever it is, I'm sure we'll get out of here. Needless optimism, it's a substitute for reason. By the way, there's a gathering happening outside the building Miss Kakura explored. Would you like to join? We plan to discuss some very important matters there.
No.
Alright, bye, Zeta. Nah, aren't you nice? I'll get right to it. Don't do anything silly while I'm gone. E. E. That must be. There's an E. But no, that's more like this. I don't know. Probably not.
Oops.
I'm really sorry for hurting your feelings. I'll give you your content a try. Who knows? I might really like it. If you didn't like me from the start, you're never going to like me. Hey, you two. Huh? Oh crap, new guy over here. What? You boarded the train before things went all crazy, right? Check it out, me and the new guy together again. Stop acting like we're friends. I don't even know who you are.
You're just messing with me.
That's a joke, right? What is? You know, that thing you just said? Maybe you've heard my name before. Does Kai Montego ring the bell?
Hey.
Come on, Kai Montego. Something of an artist. Something of an entrepreneur.
Very funny.
He's an influencer, a really big influencer. Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Ouch.
Ouch, right in the
I
ego.
thought I already lost all faith in humanity before coming to this dump. But
Kai Montego, the ultimate influencer. You don't recognize the guy, must be nice. You do? Guy's the cancer of the internet. You disagree with him on one thing. He'll stick his army of underage followers into you. You know, that sounds like a very certain Minecraft YouTuber who rose to fame during COVID-19. He's a dictator with a trendy fit.
another day.
Dictator, sheesh. You naysayers type of are always so overdramatic.
Whatever.
Don't listen to her, new guy. This chick's just recycling other people's propaganda.
Are you done yet?
You really want to talk. Check yourself in the mirror before crying propaganda.
See that?
Yeah, I see. You're no stranger to photo editing. I'm kind of impressed. No one would ever guess you had the face of a horse. And the tears return as quickly as they vanish. I'm not sure what I expected an influence to be like in person, but this was definitely not it.
Don't be mean.
Hey, leave Kai alone. He may not be the nicest person in the room, but you can see you're hurting his feelings.
Ugh.
You can get over it.
Anyway.
What about you? Can you give me your name and talent?
Oh,
Oh, sure.
I'm Diana Venecia, your local cosmetologist. If you're ever in need of a makeover, I'll work my magic. Just as.
Diana. The ultimate cosmetologist. She gives makeovers.
Come again?
Is that it? You're just a makeup
For
artist?
your information,
Not just a makeup artist, the makeup artist. What?
indeed.
Diana is the biggest beautiful attraction in Hollywood. She's relatively new to the public sphere, but part of her talent has been dominating social media. Enough to pique the interest of the internet entertainment elite. Ho ho ho. Now every A-list celebrity is scrambling to hire her. I see, this is not your first time talking about her. I am simply quoting my friends. They are all on Diana's waiting list.
Sure.
I'm sure.
Anybody?
Why is it a shock that this guy doesn't recognize her? What about me?
How humiliating.
Why do you care what he thinks? Isn't a demographic where people like you largely teenage girls?
Hell no.
My stuff is for everyone. I'm inclusive like that. Okay, that's it. Let's break this up. Diana, could you and Kai go to the courtyard outside? We're trying to get everyone together there. Alright, see you there. But none of those guys like me either. The Ultimate Talent Program is a shell of itself. It'll hand out ultimate titles to anyone who asks. But Eden's Garden Academy said it was about that. It said it prioritized academic talent. And now it thinks I'm on par with those two. We got two people. No, we just got him left. A boy was silently observing the space around him and jotting things down in a notebook. Hey, you. He went to sleep. Sorry, I dozed off for a bit there.
Cause for concern.
You have terrible eye bags. Have you not been getting enough sleep? See, Wolfgang Akira is very caring about everyone. Getting knocked out on a train was the most sleep I've gotten in a week. Thankfully, that little girl woke me up before I wasted too much time. If I'd known better, I wouldn't have. Your terrible sleep schedule has diminished your already meager natural beauty. The guy paused for a few seconds and began furiously scribbling in his notebook. Interesting, a boy with a snake tie, a girl with a white uniform, and a man in a dapper suit.
Oi, you.
What are you doing?
Excuse me.
A very loud woman with a visor. Are you writing about us? I make sure to record all my daily happenings. There's no way I remember otherwise. In some fashion, note-taking is just one of my many responsibilities.
My name is Ulysses Wilhelm, and I'm the ultimate historian. Please make note of that for future reference.
Ulysses. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be the Nagito of the game too.
Jeez.
Or like whoever that person is, like during trials, who always says something like to help you out and all.
Yes.
I definitely feel like Wolfgang's gonna be that person. This notebook is just as more frivolous information, stuff like shopping lists, classmate birthdays, when to brush my teeth. Such excellent memories wasted on menial trivia. You probably couldn't even remember the date of your wedding anniversary unless you wrote it down.
Unfortunately.
I think that's the same for most men.
So,
Well, what do you do as an ultimate historian? As of now, I work on the Patromedic River Museum in Tensomagic. I can't. Tesenakomaka?
And so on.
I'm going with that. I direct one of the exhibits there at the Cold War era. When I'm not giving tours, I'm studying primary source documents in my office. No wonder you can't get any sleep. If you can stay awake while reading all those boring history books, there's definitely something wrong with you. History isn't for everyone, I'm aware, but it's important knowledge nevertheless. Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to sound stupid when arguing on the internet.
no.
That's not how the saying goes. It isn't, but I updated it to coincide with the modern values. I thought it was funny.
Right.
Humor is subjective.
Anywho,
Anywho, people have begun gathering outside.
see?
The plan is to discuss our next course of action. Could you please join them?
Sleepy.
Yes, right. Thank you, miss. He hurriedly fumbled through the pages of his notebook. Toshiko Kayura.
Unacceptable!
Did you seriously forget my name? It is the most egregious offense. Take solace in the fact that I am a mere matchmaker and not your romantic partner. Okay, I feel like that's going to end up being foreshadowing, if anything. It'll be pretty funny if that's foreshadowing future events.
According to my
I have a large world run by even larger ideas. Small things can be easily overlooked. Fanning herself indignantly, Toshiko stormed off. Should we follow her?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy we just met probably won't. He's asleep again. Well done. We exchanged formalities with everyone here. We should meet up with the others and formulate a plan of action. Honor is ultimate. We will not be confined any longer. What a dramatic kid. The others should be gathered by the courtyard side. That's where I should head next. Oh? I was just us leaving. The other 11 students were gathered in the center of the courtyard, nervously discussing the situation.
Any clue?
Any clue what's going on here?
What if...
We're being pranked 100%. This would be really elaborate
No,
prank.
seriously.
Some people have the money for it. Whatever it is, I'm killing the prick who's responsible. Unsurprisingly, they didn't seem to be getting anywhere.
Excuse
This is off topic, but I don't believe I ever asked her name while a woman invites her.
Remember the name.
It's Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And your surname, please? Madison, Grace Madison, the ultimate golfer. How do you know that? You said it in that dining hall, remember?
That's...
I don't recall you being there for introductions. Maybe she was eavesdropping? Eavesdropping? I would never. I simply happened to overhear conversations is all. In other words, she was eavesdropping. Hey, if we could take a step back for a second, what was this about a dining hall?
Correct.
It's inside the building over there. Is there a kitchen too? I got anything locale, I'm starving. Be patient, will you? Introductions are still underway. Okay, but you have to speedrun them. Gaming references from someone else. The universe has been thrown out of balance. See, with Briggs's insults, they are generic ones that people say British people do. Which is why I'm going with she's from the UK. Along with Grace Madison, we have the mighty and prestigious Wolfgang Akira. He's well known as the ultimate warrior. Yes, that's correct. Oh, hey, lawyer man.
Lawyer man?
Is that the name for me?
Yep.
It's either that or Wolfie. Do you like Wolfie more?
I must decline.
Stay with what you already have. A lawyer? Wow, it's so nice to meet you. Up next we have, Toshiko turned and squinted at me. His name seems to be escaping me. Perhaps you might know Wolfgang Grace?
I'm not too
I
familiar.
have no idea. I don't know his... Yeah, if I know his name. He told me, I'm pretty sure it's Mark, right? My bad. As if I have it mixing up you sort of guys together. What are you waiting for? Tell us your name already. Damon Matsu, ultimate debater.
A debater?
Debater.
Ooh.
So like a bargain bin lawyer.
Hey,
That's Grace Madison, Wolfgang Akira, Damon Matsu. Who else is left?
Hiya.
Come on, darling. You can do it. Yes. Share your name. Eva. Just Eva.
Just like my video game.
Like the spy? Eva Tsunaka. That's a very pretty name.
Would you look at that?
Fittingly elegant, isn't it? But let's not get off topic. What's your talent, Eva?
that's...
Now that you mentioned it, I'm pretty sure you never told me your talent. What's with that? If I told you mine, it's only fair you tell me yours. Ultimate liar. Interesting. Maybe I should have checked those rings more. I really should have gone and actually checked those rooms. She told me not to check. Ultimate liar? That's so funny. So like, what's your actual talent? That's it. What?
Good to know.
Didn't you know lying was something you could do the best at? You'll learn something new every day.
For real?
That's actually, you actually believe her? How is someone supposed to make a career out of lying?
Now.
Easy, get a job in marketing. Winona actually made a good point. Marketing lies all the time.
It's the truth.
It's just what I am.
How can that be?
Is that supposed to be your explanation?
But
I mean, if you're the best at lying, how are we supposed to believe anything you say? As he sputtered at those last words, we all turned to Eva expectantly. That was then it happened. The ding dong.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can everyone hear me? Yes? Great.
Here we go.
Good morning, my amicable student friends. First off, allow me to apologize. I realize the ride here was a bumpy one, especially for ultimates such as yourselves. But expect things to be different within these halls. Yes, it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to Eden's Garden Academy. May this be the beginning of a wondrous journey.
Oh,
Doubt it.
did you just say we're at Eden's Garden Academy? It can't be.
Think?
No kidding, this place looks nothing like a school.
Stop talking so loud.
I want to hear this. I'm sure you're on the edge of your seats waiting for a proper orientation. But there's one more thing to do before we can meet face to face. It won't take very long. All I ask is that you enter the building across from me. From there, we can begin preparations for a formal introduction. Until then, farewell.
I must take note of this.
That was certainly interesting.
Whack.
Couldn't agree more, Whack.
Somebody explain.
Do you think he's the person who brought us here? Yo, what if he sets up the sleeping gas on the train? Or he set up. And that travel bag, how do you reckon he snuck it on?
Nice.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're not going to skip the part he said about the building, are we? He wants us to go inside. What do you think of it, should we?
Hell no!
I'm not waltzing right in there just for me to die or something. Die? You think we're going to be harmed? If our captors want us to be killed, we'd already be dead. What would be the point of killing us now? Reactions, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a psychopath.
How should I put it?
If it calls for us, what if we walk in together as one big group? When you know someone is looking out for you, things can be a lot less scary. She's got a point. The only way we can progress is if we face the problem head on.
Soybean.
Easier said than done, soybean. I suppose that makes sense, but isn't it too naive? There's nothing wrong with a bit of optimism from time to time. Let's just try it out, okay? Alright. We gathered around the entrance, none of us willing to be the first to walk through. Eventually, I mustered out enough willpower to push the doors open. Oh, there we go. What? What? Huh? In front of me lay the battered, bloody body of a young woman. Is that girl dead? Why is her dead body? What happened?
There's no way.
Is this another student?
Holy...
What the? Dining hall people, you were in the building before. Tell us what's going on. Yeah, why didn't you mention this other girl?
Hell?
I never even saw her. You were there too, Bargain Bin. Don't even. There's a floor below us. That's where I woke up.
Very funny.
And you miss a whole person? Yeah, right.
Wow.
You saw her. You must have seen her. Come on, just admit it. Stop pressing me for an answer, you.
Hold on.
I can elaborate with Domin's story. There was never a body. Miss Madison and I walked through this exact hall and saw nothing.
I was
So between the time you left and the time you returned, this girl was murdered? You think she was murdered? Well, I don't know for sure, but what happened to her does that look really look self-inflicted? So there's a killer running loose? What? But I don't recall hearing anything about it, anything when I was waiting outside. Desmond can back me up, right?
Shit.
She's right, there was no screams, no one left the building. So the killer's still inside? What? As more panicked shouts filled the corridor, Eva silently walked over to the body. What are you doing? Ignoring Grace's request, she crashed down beside the dead girl and poked her in the face.
You
But what's wrong with you? Stop that.
brain.
It's not real.
Eh?
Huh? This girl, she's just a dummy. A dummy?
How?
That's definitely a real body.
You're crazy.
Didn't you just say you were a liar? Why should we believe you?
It's the truth.
If you don't believe me, inspect it yourself. If no one else is offering, I can do it. Wait, him? Well, how does that sound to everyone? He turned to look at each of us. I have my reservations, but when his gaze met mine, my lips instantly sealed shut. The look he gave me was unexpectedly intense.
Okay.
Yes, you can do it. The pirate casually approached the body and knelt beside it. Then, just like Eva, would you look at that? She's right, it is a dummy.
For real?
Say what?
How did she know it was fake?
You see?
My intuition. Also, a corpse to smell. This doesn't smell. I'm pretty sure a corpse only smells after some time, not like right away.
Dude, no!
As if, could you be any more suspect? Not just that, but there's something under the dummy. What is it? A tablet. Jean rose from the ground and turned around to face us. Sure enough, he was holding a tablet. It slid under the dummy. There's no blood on it as far as I can tell. Nice hiding place. Wouldn't you have noticed if I hadn't taken a closer look? Given the impression I was supposed to, don't it? Hey, what's wrong with the tablet? Let me turn it on. He pressed a button and walked over and held the tablet out for us to see. Oh, it's loading something. After a few seconds, the loading symbol vanished. In its place was a photo of the girl. Kira Koshkin, Ultimate Teacher's Aide. 5'6", weight 112 pounds, female, and 18. What is this? However, the tablet hadn't finished loading. Just after the image, she was stabbed 28 times in her torso and died from blood loss. The victim also suffered from chemical burns to the head. The most noticeable burns are to her eyes and scalp. The time of death is unknown. I already read all that. I read it a bit too early. It reads just like a body report. So is she real or not? It's said to be a dead body, a fake dead body, but it's an actual body report. What is going on? Jesus, took you long enough to find that tablet. Long ago, a vicious murder was committed, and that victim so happened to be an ultimate, much like yourselves. What? Before you is a perfect reconstruction of the crime scene, as well as infinitely of the victim with the appropriate injuries. It was quite emotionally draining to craft that dummy. It served as a long reminder of what was lost. She was such a nice girl, so much potential lost to violence. What's this man playing her? Anyway, it is your responsibility to figure out the details of her death. The surrounding area, the murder weapon, how she reacted to it, her final moments, etc. But don't worry about finding the murderer's identity. He's already right in front of you. See that gray man on the tablet? Yep, that's your guy. Please investigate the crime scene and gather as much clues as you can. After a certain period of time, you'll be asked to present your findings to me. Believe me, it is your best interest to put your full effort into this. Have fun, everyone.
Not okay!
Investigation? What the?
Back off.
Enough of this already. I don't want any part of this. Stop telling me what to do. Grace grabbed a large chunk of rock from the floor and ran it over to the speaker. Screaming in acidity, she pulled her hand as far back as she could. Zap.
Brutal.
No way, was that the watch? Try to destroy private property? That's a zap.
Fuck you! Holy...
Is he for real? Is this school trying to make us solve an old murder?
Say that.
Hold on, you guys. You can't just believe everything that strange man claims. Why would Eden's Garden Academy, any academy for that matter, do something like this? Well, there was the good old Hope's Peak Academy. Even if they tried to, the ultimate talent poker would have stopped them. I wouldn't underestimate the school board executives. The money can get to people's heads and make them take risks they shouldn't. Hey, this part sounds a bit familiar. Izuru Kamakura? This academy said it was unique. Maybe this is their version of the entrance exam.
What a joke.
They're so obsessed with being different from the competition. They've forgotten what people want. More like they've forgotten how to be sane.
Did you say?
Would the UTP really be okay with this?
Think about it this way.
Seems pretty counterintuitive. Everyone would want to quit their enrollment after this. And Sue,
Talking.
if this is the work of a separate group, why are they using the Academy's name? As a way to hide their own baby? They might just have even kidnapped us because we're attending Eden's Garden Academy. Explain. Well, what if they knew we all had to board the train? It would explain why we passed out. They boarded the train before us, painted the bag with gas.
There's gotta be something.
Because this happened on the train to the Academy, they could claim they are the Academy.
If I may ask.
Everyone keeps saying they. Isn't it the speaker and man who kidnapped us?
Got it.
As obviously wasn't just him. Seizing a train, bringing 16 people to an unknown location, that takes the team to do. Of course, that raises another glaring question. Why us? Why have we been brought into this place? Is it because we're ultimates? It's not like anyone's specialty is detective work. It just doesn't add up. Oh yeah, we don't have an ultimate detective this time around. I think I will let the rest of you handle this. I doubt I'm needed in this critique situation. I'll just be on my own way. Yeah, that's okay. Actually, can I come with? I feel super bad leaving you alone. Oh,
Sure.
well, sure, I
You
suppose.
can do it.
Good luck solving the mystery, everyone. I know you can do it. No. Diana and Toshiko walked away in the direction of the room with the kitchen. Huh.
Don't get close.
I'm going with them. Screw this. Kai took off down the hallway, like his life depended on it. Geez, better than the rest than us.
No.
I don't know what all this. Will that man really let us go and investigate? We won't know if he continues staying around like this. For now, all we can do is take the risk and do as he says. He's right. I need to brace myself and follow the directions I've been getting. As of now, it's my only way to learn more information about the current situation. I can only hope this ordeal will be over soon. Investigation. Before I do anything else, should I go back over? I should go back over that tablet. Investigation time. The victim is Karen Kasham, the ultimate teacher's aide. She was stabbed in the torso 28 times. The victim also suffered chemical burns to the head. The most noticeable burns are to the eyes and scalp. Cause of death is blood loss. Time of death is unknown. There's a lot going on here. Chemical burns in addition to 28 stab wounds. Geez, I don't know what to believe anything the speaker here says, but if this murder really is based on true events, dang, the killer is totally sick in the head. Tablet has added to the truth bullet section of your trinket. And I still can't access the trinket. Because my F1 key, I need a rework to make it fit. Our captors gave us a lot of information about the victim. To their credit, what's written on the towel seems to be accurate, but I should expect the body just in case. Dang, it's just a doll. Damon, stop hesitating. The doll was slumped up against the door, her toes soaked in blood. Parts of her shirt have been ripped open, exposing bits and bloody, discernible pulp. I quickly took a step back, trying to control my breathing and avoid throwing up. It's just a doll. There's no reason to be afraid of the doll. Assault rifle? The initial sight of the doll shocked me so much I completely overlooked this rifle. Inspecting it now, I just realized something. If the victim was stabbed, why was there a rifle near her body? The rifle, could you step back? I think I'm curious about something. But no, Before I could finish my sentence, Jim walked over to where it was and picked up the gun. Hey, you're missing a crime scene. Ignoring me, he released the magazine of the gun with surprisingly ease. From the top of the magazine protruded a loaded bullet. Huh, that's interesting. This rifle hasn't even been used. Definitely a dangerous thing to have around. I'll put it down and guard it so no one can get smart ideas. Better than him holding it. Dang, a loaded gun. What was going on in the killer's head? Why bring a gun to a crime scene and not even use it? Unless the gunless purpose was purely for intimidation. It's not very logical, but it would be a twisted game to play with the victim. The assault rifle has been added to the true bullet section. I still find it interesting though that the first trial is going to be over someone who is already dead. A bloody knife lay next to the victim. It's safe to say that this must be for the murder weapon. X-ray vision. I think there's more I have to investigate. So the wounds are not deep. She died from blood loss. What does that say about the killer? They probably could have killed her quickly if they wanted. Did they leave her to suffer a slow death? Dang, this is messed up. What am I supposed to do? I'll just keep seeing that. Oh, the hands. Her hands were surprisingly clean, all things considered. There was no other marks or injuries apart from her nails. It looked like there were dried blood underneath them. What was there blood under her nails, but not the rest of her hand? I see all the evidence. Nothing else is catching my eye. I should check the inside of the closet now. Think so? I'm going. It is. Oh, they're in here. Like the rest of the building, inside the closet was old and depleted. It was the last place I wanted to dig through, but I had to gather as much evidence as possible. Otherwise, I would not be able to present a strong argument. Cassidy Amber. Let's see what you have to say. Hey, check out what's behind this door. Saying that, she stepped away from the corner. It's a ladder. Doesn't seem like there's anything strange about it. Why was this brought to my attention again?
Not cool.
I'm disappointed in you.
So hackneyed.
They're calling a ladder. It's obviously a step ladder.
Seriously.
Aren't they practically the same thing? I have to agree with Miss Amber. Everyone knows an ace investigator will record his evidence as accurately as possible. That's certainly what the victim would want. For so much for being the ultimate debater, he does not like to get the facts straight. But I guess that goes well with it, for the most part. A guy that doesn't get my references is no fun to be around. I'm gonna check out the peeps outside. Smell you later, lawyer man. They did the Gary Oak reference for Pokemon. Smell you later. She's already out of here. Does she even investigate anything besides that stupid ladder? You got the Pokemon references. The shelf was packed with an assortment of towels. I briskly inspected them, lifting each towel to check for anything underneath. Many had gathered dust, but what was that? Nothing looked suspicious about them. Let's see what Eva has to say. There might be more clues around here. I'm going to check this entire closet for evidence. No thanks, a person like her is probably more likely to cause a murder, not stalking. Alright, have fun with that. You know she could have done that to you, right? Clock. There's a clock above the door. It doesn't seem like it works. Bucket. It's a bucket. Pretty typical thing to find inside a janitor's closet, but why is it randomly laying here? There's nothing inside except, what is that smell? It smells like bleach. The bucket has been added to the true fault section. Back at the closet. I guess I gotta talk to Wolfgang.
It's for the best.
We must make every effort to examine the crime scene as thoroughly as possible, not for the sake of entertaining the people who kidnapped us, but for the sake of the victim. After all, this was based on a real murder, was it not? That was what the tablet said, though. I'm still skeptical about the validity of that statement. Looks like everything's around here. I should check out the other end of the room. Whoa. These three people are just hiding here. Let's see what Desmond has to say.
Gotta stay one step ahead.
I checked all the containers on the shelf. They're all full, like, with the exception of one. A bottle of bleach. Bleach? Huh? There's a bucket of this in the closet and a refill of it.
Sense.
That's probably not a coincidence, given this thing is supposed to emulate a real crime scene. It's crazy how much effort was put into this. I can't think of too much about what kind of situation we're in, or I'll never be able to handle it. Let's see what Winona has to say. Security camera, it's brand new. Now that you mention it, it does look out of place. Do you think it would have gathered dust like all the other items in here? Did it recently get cleaned or something? My company headquarters has similar ones installed, except these cameras are even more high-tech. Typical schools spending more on security than educating their students. That's assuming this is even Academy's doing. camera. It's another surveillance camera. Is this guy on the speaker watching us through it? Just the thought of made my stomach turn. Ingrid, what do you have to say?
Golly.
These shells are really intriguing. Take a look, some of the cleaning brands go as far back as the 80s and 90s. You recognize them? Because I use them. Why would you do that?
How should I put it?
All chemicals do the job better than, since there were fewer regulations about what's poisonous and all that. Just don't ask where I got them. Don't want to alert the fuzz. I'm sure they don't care about our black market cleaning supplies. Alright everyone, that's time. Look at you. You investigated crime scene so well, it's enough to bring a tear to my eye. Jokes aside, please meet by the elevator for the class trial. You should find it somewhere around the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long, I might start getting zap happy. See you soon. Class trial? What the heck does that mean? Sounds like the end of our investigation. If we're done with the closet, we should go outside and talk to the others. To be fair, there was not much to investigate. Just the body in the closet.
Come off the grass.
What the heck is a class trial? Your guess is as good as mine. Obviously, we're going to court. Court?
What?
He's going to put us on trial.
To me.
Maybe that's where we'll talk about the clues we found.
Just saying.
It makes sense for our current situation. Investigation, clues, files. What else could you have said before? Good point. It does seem oddly similar to court procedures. Obviously, we're missing key suspects and witnesses, but they don't seem to be relevant to the case anyways. You mentioned that this elevator was near the Tree of Ignorance, right? He must be referring to the room with the tree.
Yes.
Probably, yeah. It's the only thing I can think of. However, I don't recall seeing an elevator anywhere.
Just follow me.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get our butts over there. She keeps treating this like a dumb game. If we're really on a trial, what could be a nuisance to deal with? We might as well follow her. One by one, everyone left. I guess I had no choice but to go as well. You know what would be a big plot twist? If one of the 16 people here has actually attended the place before and did this to the girl. I could see that being the case. Because surely, and it's just an invitation. Because they're back again. I guess we'll see what happens. How did you remain so stoic at a time like this? Aren't you worried at all? No, not really. It's not like we're investigating some high-stakes murder. It's just a dummy, that's it. Yes, quiet. I completely concur. She's obviously faking it. Without even looking at her face, I could tell she's sweating bullets. No, don't let it be her. Because, like, it's not a class trial without someone going down. Whenever I was at the tree, I saw that people are already bickering. A big tree, Eden's Garden Academy, overused religious symbolism is tight. I really hope we get let after this. Can you confirm, like your chick? Why are you asking her?
Come off the grass.
Come on, the grass. She's clearly faking her talent.
I hear
And that makes her one of the bad guys? Who would want to fake their talent, identity besides someone with a secret to hide? I bet she's the one who brought the gas bomb into the train. And she didn't think to bring a mask to avoid passing out or whatever.
No one else is gonna say it.
If all you needed was a mask to protect you, then hey, don't look at me, I'll literally pass out. This helmet's got plenty of holes in it, I'll suffocate otherwise.
I've got something to say.
No, the liar chick's totally sus. Just look at how calm she's been acting. She somehow knew the dead body was a dummy and she poked it in the face. Yes, an Among Us reference. He's an influencer. He's probably played Among Us for 1,000 hours.
Deal with it.
I told you, it's my intuition. Intuition, my ass. It's not unbelievable. My gut told me we should inspect the doll. Now look at us, we're on a mission to solve her murder.
Any clue?
Where's the elevator supposed to be again? That's right. There's meant to be an elevator around here. All I can see is the tree of ignorance. Maybe we're missing something here. Or maybe we're playing for fools. Oh, move around time. Let me guess, it has to do with the statue. At the base of the tree was a marble bust depicting a figure in a creepy mask. There were cracks over the mask, but one of the eyes was even missing. How long is this thing going to be? You notice the statue too, don't ya? Oh yeah.
Alright.
What's up with the statue? There's definitely something whack about it. I just can't put my finger on what. The mask is broken, there's a piece missing. Is that weird? The statue is probably like super old. It makes sense it'll be cracking and stuff.
I'm talking.
No, that's definitely seems intentional. Like, it's crappy on purpose? Yeah. This game went far out with giving the protagonist an actual sprite. For most of it. Well, you know.
What about...
Maybe if we find the piece and place it back in the statue, something will happen. Like a puzzle solving game. That sounds kind of far-fetched, but it wouldn't hurt to try. You're saying we gotta look around for the other part of the mask? Why does it sound like Scooby-Doo when it says Ryu? Maybe it's intentional or something. Hold on your butts, because I got the eyes of a predator.
Whatever.
This isn't a competition, but never mind. With that, everyone started searching for the tree again. Some people inspected the tree itself, while others scurried around it. After what seemed to be only a few minutes, Grace stood up frantically with something in her hands. It's probably meant to be like a tail. She found it. We got around the Grace to see what she was holding. Nice, that must be it. What should we do with it? Do we just stick it back in the mask? Probably, yeah, I'll take care of it. Back off, Hercules. You ain't the one who found it. Grace brought the piece over to the statue, slotted it right into the mask, and then nothing happened.
Fail.
Oh, that was anticlimactic. Click. Suddenly, the ground we were standing on began to shake. Oh, golly. Are we about to die? Cinematic time. Called it. Knew it was a tree. I was right. That actually worked. A secret passageway in a tree. I never thought I would see that. The tree of knowledge, a symbol of sentence, intuition, and understanding, exists here only as a barren replica. The tree of ignorance emulates the wonder of nature, but does not achieve it. And justly so, for ignorance often aspires to be seen as wisdom. Click. Oh no. Now he's spitting random philosophy. We're so doomed. Will this take us to the elevator? There's stairs at the foot of the opening. What are we waiting for? Let's explore.
If I may ask,
Why the sudden rush? I want to get home, duh.
Elementary, my dear.
If we get this over with, we get out quicker. It's simple math.
sure.
Fair enough. So we just walk in, do we? One by one, we've approached the opening of the tree and descended into the darkness. This is the elevator. We got the classic elevator scene. I see the elevators underneath the tree. Reckless investments, I'm telling you. With a rumble, the elevator began its descent. We sit in the silence, 16 worried strangers plummeting into the unknown. That's what we were after all. Random people thrown into this horrible place. And for what? Some twisted man's game? A big crime scene, an investigation, a creepy statue, an elevator and a tree. None of this was the work of your average kidnapper. This was something much bigger. In no way could it be connected to Eden's Garden Academy. The elevator began to slowly snapping me out of my thoughts. I stood up tall when movements started completely. The doors opened. The classic trial room. In front of us was a large circular hall supported by marble pillars. The center of the room, 16 podiums had arranged into a circle. Were those for us? Welcome everyone, I hope you enjoyed the elevator ride, even if it was a bit quick. As you can see, this is the trial room. Each podium has a name on it. Find your designated podium and stand there until I give further instructions. And if we don't comply, then I'll zap you, of course. Not the zapping thing again. Just face it, Miss Madison. We have to go along with his demands. Look, there's a few smart ones in the pack, eh? Well, come along now. We don't have all day. There was no avoiding it. We had to assume our places. Oh. Scanning the faces around me, everyone wore similar expressions. Discomfort, anger, worry, it didn't end. We've been kidnapped and forced to play as pawns in some insane game. No free will, no choice in our actions. All we could do was move forward. We had to hope for an escape. We had to run from this twisted place. We had to solve this murder case. Yes. Oh. I can view my trinket now. You have the tablet, the bloody knife, assault rifle, bucket, and victim's hands. Settings. Oh. Oh. You got the fancy menu. That's very Dongan. Change difficulty. No, I'm keeping on the same. I don't know. And class trial in a session. Let's see how it goes.
Let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial. The objective here is simple. Explain how the murder took place. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim. Should you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place. Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out. That's all there is to it. Have fun, everybody.
Someone's gonna die.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, it's not the same with Monokuma. But overall, with this game, while it says to be a Danganronpa fan game, it seems like it's way more inspired because because it goes way more unique. It doesn't take place at like Hope's Peak Academy or feature any returning characters like Monokuma. Sure, you have the basic class trial, murder, ultimate titles. And art style, of course, that's mimicking it. But I definitely feel like they could have ended up like just saying it's inspired by the game and then like sold it. I'm no lawyer, but I feel like they could have. because it doesn't seem to have Monokuma in it.
Oh shit! They fried her brain!
Calm down. It's only a shock. She won't suffer any permanent side effects. If I wanted to see the brain dead bigger, I'd just turn on the telly. On that note, please carry on.
The people running this thing aren't playing around.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this trip.
By the way, can I get like a seat with this thing? I'm just gonna be an onlooker. It's only fair.
You're seriously not going to contribute?
What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
Be like Jet Dawson. He's there to support you no matter what you do.
Yeah, who murdered that dummy chick, right?
Not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Did that tablet not explain it?
It listed her wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Probably because it's so obvious.
But, Miss Amber, you didn't even read the tablet.
And I don't have to.
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway.
Unintelligible. These guys are clearly confused. I need to stop them before they arrive at the wrong conclusion. Oh gosh, do you hear that? That's the sound of a non-stop debate. Oh no, approaching. During non-stop debates, your classmate will speak one after another without interruption. Students may do things as contradict the truth, but it's your job to determine what statements must be broken in order to progress the trial. For your ammo, you have been armed with truth bullets you gathered during the investigation. Truth bullets are relevant to the debate and will be loaded into your truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim your reticle and press the right key to fire. You want to aim for the words highlighted in gold. Those are the weak spots. A lie or contradiction may be hiding within a weak spot. Carefully compare your classmates' statements to evidence you gathered. And use the correct truth bullets to destroy the relevant weak spot. If things are flying too fast, use the space bar to concentrate. This will temporarily slow time. Speaking of time, be sure not to run out of it. This is automatic game over. Not that someone of your caliber will ever fail. Anyway, press the F3 key and revisit these controls whenever you wish. I can't use my F3 key. I slow. Because those buttons are also for other things on my laptop. So I can't override them. That's all. Don't jump to any much conclusions. Oh boy. Assault rifle.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
No, that was a knife.
Didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big, scary gun. Ah, that's
Nope.
right. There
Oh,
was
I'm
a
supposed to
gun.
right click to hit.
You hear that, liar man? She agrees.
Okay, I know what to do. Fortunately, an ununiformed target is never difficult to shoot down.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but
Oh, I got 3
how she
minutes,
died.
a little over under 4 minutes to do this.
Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big, scary gun. Ah,
Oh,
that's right.
what?
There was a gun. You hear that, liar man? She agrees.
I have to be quicker.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big, scary gun.
There we go. Oh, they got the art.
butting in. You barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
Whoa, what? I searched that place from top to bottom.
Alright, then tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
That's easy. It wasn't. Obviously, the shooter reloaded their gun to full capacity. Any smart shooter could tell you that. Right, Desmond?
Why are you bringing me into this?
Except, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso. If the gun was fired, not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We saw neither at the crime scene.
Details. If the gun didn't do that, chicken, what was the actual murder weapon?
Oh,
I got it.
oh, that was neat.
Bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Why so Cam's razor gotta ruin everything?
What?
Interesting. Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Yes, Ulysses.
Kind of weird choosing the inferior weapon.
Nothing beats the sting of a sharpened blade.
If the killer didn't use the rifle, why was it at the crime scene?
Maybe it came from inside the closet.
Don't see why you'd be storing a gun in a janitor's closet.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
Of course it's related. It's covered in blood.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
Poor Diana. Oh, now it's up to debate time. The tablet.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
What?
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
To reiterate,
Okay, I know
the
what that.
rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they
I know what
opted
to
for
respond
the
with.
knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about
The victim had the
aesthetics
gun,
over
not the killer.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would
Ah.
have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Okay, yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to contradict the killer. Because he talks about the details of the victim's death does not mention the gun.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife
So that
were next
does,
to the victim's body.
so it was the victim who had it with them.
Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken,
There we go.
No, that's wrong! Stop that thought right there. If we keep assuming the killer had the gun, we'll end up running in circles.
what? You think the killer was unarmed?
No, they were definitely armed. With a knife. The reason they didn't use a gun is probably because they never had it to begin with.
But then, who did?
It wouldn't be the same if they didn't have no, that's wrong. It just wouldn't fit.
Easy. The victim.
There's probably going to be a mascot for the game itself that's going to appear later on,
Whoa, the dummy had the gun?
which is it'll be the Monokuma of the game, but they're probably just not here for this trial.
If it wasn't the killer, it had She must have brought it to the closet. She was probably carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Oh, I guess that makes some sense.
Complete sense.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something?
But we never did get a true intro for the game.
Huh?
Maybe you get it at the end, because this is just like the prologue.
The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct? If so, why didn't she shoot them?
A stealth attack! I bet the killer memorized her AI movements.
Because the other chapters are going to be coming out at a later point. If I believe correctly, I think chapter 1 is going to get an update pretty soon.
That girl must have been killed before she had the chance to defend herself.
This is just like a prologue. Like, I'm going to play it.
That's not technically true.
Huh?
There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer.
Specifically, evidence that shows the victim attempted to fight back. Huh? The victim's hands?
This is it.
Yep, the victim's hands.
We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker.
So yeah, the game is likely going to be released in parts, because it's such a huge, ambitious Danganronpa fan game.
Of course, no explanation is definitive without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened.
So they're just releasing the parts when they can, like a lot of other Danganronpa fan games.
Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
Which I do want to try out at some point.
Did something get in the way of her using it?
Because I do have a few of them planned out to play at some point.
I wonder if that killer stole it from her.
This was just going to be the first one in general I was going to do.
I've seen or heard him coming from the hallway at the very least.
Why do you think she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happened, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Maybe the fight started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
If that happened, shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor or in the hallway?
Drag marks? Can't say I saw any.
It was merely a jest. No need to take it so seriously.
Why is Toshiko acting so suspicious?
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her? I don't know why they would want to do that, but it would explain the lack of drag marks.
But then, wouldn't the killer have been covered in...
Great, the ultimate golfer is just still like, bleh.
It should have gotten everywhere. Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing to stop the blood flow.
Good point.
She was obviously killed in the closet. That's where the blood was.
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry for derailing the conversation.
This is where the bleach is going to come from. Come into play.
Moving on. That fight. The victim had the gun, but she was overpowered?
Because you use bleach to get rid of any stains. I'm pretty sure.
If she wanted to, she could have just, you know...
It doesn't make much sense, does it?
There must be something we're missing. Something that explains how the victim was overpowered. I know that I'm the only one who can figure that out. Alright, I'll talk to you about agree points. During the last non-stop debate, you could have noticed that some phrases were blue. Bet you weren't expecting that, huh? Those phrases are called agree points. They are the counterpart of weak spots. As the name would suggest, if an agree point aligns with the evidence you gather, you can use your truth bullet to prove it correct. Simply aim your rifle as you would a weak spot and shoot. In your pursuit of the truth, you must be prepared to corroborate your classmates' testimonies. When it would be wise to do so, it's for you to figure out. Good luck. Boom, 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 boom. Oh.
That slimy killer pulled a fast
two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see them coming.
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend? I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
She tried clawing.
Okay, I know exactly what to do. So you didn't see it coming because of the bucket.
And knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two
That's
did
what I'm going
have
with.
a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see.
What?
Appreciate the support.
Never mind.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
That's right. The killer lunged at her and pushed the gun out of her hands.
Oh, with that.
This sounds risky. What if she saw them and unloaded a bunch of bullets?
That slimy
Okay, it's because I had the wrong one.
and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
When I hit the first one, I was actually accidentally on the tablet.
See them coming.
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend?
I don't think
I
so.
wouldn't hurt a friend.
There's nothing for the friend.
Clawing their eyes out.
What?
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
That's right.
This sounds risky.
That
Okay.
slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the
I'm not
sounds of
sure.
it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see them.
No, that's right.
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend?
Is that it?
I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
The victim mistook the killer for a friend.
Why would she? There's no evidence.
I don't know. What?
Slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I
No, I'm confused.
didn't even see them coming.
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend? I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
The victim is
Why would there?
What?
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So
I already lost a lot of health. I don't know what to do.
I bet that girl didn't even.
I got it.
Oh, is that? Okay, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I thought I tried it already.
John actually has a point. The victim probably couldn't see what was going on. According to the tablet, she suffered chemical burns to the face and eyes. That sort of injury would have effectively blinded her. Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle of bleach. That's probably the chemical that caused the burns.
Blinded with bleach? That's horrible.
It is pretty horrible.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back.
She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hand.
So the killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Indeed. Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually dying from her wounds.
Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
That's what the ladder was for. It was used to prop up like the door. So when it opened, like the bleach would fall on them. That's what the ladder was useful for.
The past is in the past.
And it was behind the door for a reason.
All we can do is
That would make sense with the ladder in the bucket. It's a classic prank with water.
I mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
No, not yet.
Seriously?
But we've already discussed so much!
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case?
Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
This was never about the dummy.
What?
However, we should think of this case like an equation. Knowing how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
As in the motive?
You're on the right track.
You speak like we have any information on the killer. The man's a stock image. He doesn't even have a name. What are we supposed to ascertain from that? That he's a non-character?
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold the phone!
She's back.
Grace?
Whoa, what? Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, soybean. Watching you guys try to solve this mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire. I guess all that smoke must have clouded your vision, cause there's a big-ass elephant in this room.
An elephant in the room?
That's giving us too much credit.
So the killer incapacitated that girl. She had a gun, it makes total sense. Problem is, you've yet to explain how he used the bleach.
I sort of assumed he spilled it on the victim.
Right. He just tipped the bottle over her.
That bottle is where the bleach came from, sure. But I doubt the bottle itself was involved in the murder.
It's gonna be the ladder in the bucket.
When we found it, it was neatly ordered on a shelf near the back of the closet. The gun and knife were just thrown on the floor. So it's weird this weapon was handled so differently.
Oh, that's what I'm going with. It was a ladder in the bucket.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Sure, before the actual murder took place, I'd say.
And what is this something else? Go on, explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. The victim's hands, tablet, and bucket.
Well,
Give me my
the
bucket.
original bottle's been emptied. Where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a container? There were a bunch in the
Okay,
closet.
I need to agree with the container.
Had a secret water gun. So when the victim came in, pow! He squirted her in the eyes.
No,
Hey, ink vanishes when the battle's over.
there was no water gun at the. What?
Well, if the original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a
I got it.
There we go. See, that's the bucket. The bucket's important.
She's correct. The killer put the chemicals in a bucket. Or, more specifically, the same bucket we found at the crime scene. After all, it reeked of bleach. If the killer didn't use it to transport bleach, what else did they use it for? Personal cleaning? I doubt it.
No, that makes sense.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay, cool. So, how'd the killer use that bucket to spill bleach in the victim's eyes?
With the ladder.
It would be a fairly heavy bucket, so it's unlikely he threw it on her.
She'd shoot him before he even had the chance. Use your brain, mate.
Of course, my apologies.
Even if he did manage to splash her, the girl should have sustained intense facial burns. However, aside from her eyes,
Well, if you check the tablet, it says she had burns to the scalp, too.
Burns to the scalp? How does that work?
It's because the bucket of bleach was on top of the door as a basic trick that people do with water.
Unless those chemicals came from above?
Yeah, the bucket was on top of the door. They put up with the ladder.
Did the killer somehow suspend the bucket in the air? Maybe there was a mechanism that made it tip over when someone entered the room.
Come on.
This bucket's supposed to be again?
Above. Which, well, could mean anything.
Was the killer hiding above the door frame?
There's no way they were up there. There's nothing for them to sit or hold on to. Not to mention, they couldn't have stabbed her from up there.
And if there's no place for the killer to sit, then there's no place for the bucket to sit.
Unless you take into account the size difference. The space above the entrance might not be able to support a person, but it could still support something as small as a bucket.
And that thing supporting the bucket?
The killer wanted two things: for the bucket to be above the victim and for it to spill on her when she entered the room. In other words, he needed to balance the bucket funneled by. Ooh. Door.
I got it.
It was the door. They just stood on top of the ladder for it.
I overlooked this, but I've got it. The killer just balanced the bucket on the door.
Like in those water bucket pranks people film?
What did I say? What did I say?
Exactly. When the victim came into the room, she pushed open the door and caused the bucket to fall on her. This would make it so she couldn't shoot back or even get a chance to see her assailant. When the bucket hit the ground, it probably rolled away. That'd explain why we found it a couple feet from the victim.
It just lined up really well.
Possibility, yes.
It sounds like the best conclusion.
There's just one problem. How was the killer able to reach that high? Unless they were abnormally tall, it'd be difficult to place something on top of that door.
Well, let's use that as our next point of discussion. How did the killer set up this trap?
To balance the bucket on the door, the killer would have neither reached it pretty high. Was there anything at the crime scene that could have used as a boost? If I answer that, it'll add further credibility to my theory. What? Oh, whoa, this is new. It was the ladder. We got the scene at the crime scene.
There was a stepladder hiding behind the closet door. The killer probably used that. After climbing it, they could position the bucket right on top of the door. Figures.
My precious stepladder? You think the bad guy used my super duper obvious stepladder?
Match point. Occam's razor.
Yes, it appears our killer didn't care much for subtlety. No matter how obvious it seems, it's the only answer that makes sense.
It was the only knickknack of its kind, too. If there's something else that killer could have used, it's escaping me.
I see. It makes sense with what we've got so far. But I'm not done yet. I still have one last question for you apes.
Please just leave us alone.
Hey, don't be like that. Grace may be loud, but her questions have really helped our discussion.
Anyway, what was the killer doing when that bucket poured onto the girl's head?
He obviously didn't just stand there and observe.
Oh. I'd be behind the janitor. Yeah, I'd be behind in the back of the janitor's closet.
I've got it. The killer was hiding in the back of the closet. If he was pressed up against the furthest shelf and facing the entrance, there'd be a diagonal path between him and his victim. I say diagonal because that's the only way you can make a direct charge forward. Also, when the victim entered the room, she would have been standing with her back to the hallway, right outside the killer's range. That's why the stab wounds were only made to her chest.
Creating the crime scene we found! Great job, guys! We're actually doing this!
That was the last mystery, right? We must have put everything together now.
Even if it's all fake, I feel really bad for this victim.
I feel like there's something more.
It's an ugly sight, but she's no victim.
Huh?
Well, technically she is, but let's be real. The girl was carrying a gun. She probably provoked the killer, and they killed her in self-defense. It's a clear-cut case of the hunter becoming the hunted, no?
Huh, that sounds a lot like Leon and Sayaka, doesn't it?
That's no excuse.
What?
There's no justifying murder. Killing a woman is the worst thing a man could do.
You're emanating a sizable amount of emotional tension. Are you okay?
There's no excuse. There never was an excuse. 28 stab wounds. No girl, no person should ever suffer Kara's fate.
Facts.
Wait, who's Kara?
What was the victim's name? Didn't anyone read the tablet?
I agree with you, dude. But you don't have to shout out your point.
Wolfgang is not happy with them.
What's all this about? We figured out the case. Stop trying to drag it on.
No. We're not finished here.
Huh?
There's no murder without a proper motive. We need to discuss why Kara died.
I am not going this far for a fictional murder case.
It's already been said it's not fictional. It's based on something that already happened.
We aren't looking for a murderer. We're looking for answers, which we have.
Do you turn in a half-finished exam, Winona? An essay without its conclusion? This isn't about efficiency. This is about being right. Or do you, a supposed entrepreneur, not value integrity?
What the hell?
Let's just talk about the motive. There's no harm in doing that, right?
Well, what was the motive?
Well, she hasn't talked in a while.
Was the killer fighting for their life? Or were they going out of their way to murder?
Maybe the gun freaked them out.
If I was in the killer's shoes, I'd definitely be nervous.
Thing is, while acting out of self-defense is possible, since when does it look like this?
Given the severity, I'd liken it to a crime of passion.
Something done on impulse.
What if they were frightened? A spooky thing might have set them off big time.
That's wrong. There's no way this was done in self-defense. No matter what excuse the killer uses, it doesn't change the fact they have blood on their hands.
Yo, bud, you seem a little pressed.
Silence! I won't allow this!
The Ultimate Lawyer's a good character. No. While you have only been using logical arguments to further the trial so far, now might be a good time to change your approach. Introducing the pathos mechanic. During the non-stop debates, emotionally charged commentary of your classmates will appear as purple text. These comments are called pathos statements. You can absorb these pathos statements by hovering over them with your reticle by pressing E or LT. Oh, they got controller support, it seems. Find a weak spot that is directly contradicted by the pathos statement of fire. If successful, you will make an powerful emotional argument to counteract your opponents. Stay on the lookout for pathos statements. While you'll always be able to advance the trial with pure logic, emotional arguments can lead to unique conversations. Boom, boom, boom. Tablet.
To kill Kara so easily and without...
I still only have 5 health.
There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
Calm down.
Expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the
No.
damn killer. Just the
True.
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have
What?
no proof. So says the ultimate liar.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's
It's getting intense.
This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive,
The music's a banger.
deserves to be brought to justice.
But how can we do that? There's no...
What?
If you have no proof, so says the ultimate liar.
What?
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
I was supposed to pick up the purple, but
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic kill of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice.
But how can we do that? There's trust you
there we go.
if you have no proof. So says the ultimate liar.
Now what do I use it on?
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic humanity's brightest.
I don't see how that relates to...
Okay, now.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
What?
What's wrong with that?
Nope, I was wrong.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint.
I'm gonna lose all my health.
There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's
That's not that.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
No, it's not
You
self-defense.
don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they
It's
left
not that.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice.
But how can we do that? There's no reason.
There we go. No, missed.
If you have
No. I missed
the
it.
ultimate liar.
I know what it is. It's at the end.
To kill Kara so easily.
I misused the bullet.
There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm?
It's just because I can't aim.
Killing of one of humanity's brightest.
The hitboxes themselves are fine. I just forgot to slow it down.
This could have been self-defense.
Although my time's going down.
Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice.
But how can we do that? There's no...
No!
If you have no proof,
I messed up
says
again.
the ultimate liar.
restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one
My
of
time's gonna be
humanity's
close.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer.
It's gonna be close.
The crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's
No. No.
If you have no proof,
I messed it up.
so says the ultimate liar.
I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna have to take the loss on the time.
There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
Yeah, it never gets old.
Killer, dead or alive,
Nope, my time's gonna be gone.
brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's reason to trust you.
Continue.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint.
Okay, it gave me my health back at least.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm?
At least we got a seeing what the game over scene was like.
Shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no
Okay, this is the hold E at it.
no proof.
I got it. That's my fault for not even reading the instructions that much. Alright, now I gotta wait.
Kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify.
But I'm really liking this game so far.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm?
Now, for the actual Dr. Rappa games themselves, I am going to play at some point on stream.
A lot of assumptions.
It's probably going to be a while,
Morals.
if anything,
This could have been self-defense.
but I do want to get to him at some point, just for myself.
Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But first of all, I need to
There's no
What?
If you have no proof, so says the ultimate liar.
I just want to I need to finish Persona 5 Royal before I want to start on another big long game.
Kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Because I don't want two of them at the same time.
Chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason to.
What? Why don't you let me take it?
Proof. So says the ultimate liar.
Odd.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
What's the...
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make
make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even
I'm
know the
confused.
just the crime scene they left behind.
It's probably just my fault for not hitting it correctly.
Deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason. If you have
Okay.
no proof, so says the ultimate liar.
Let's see if I can do it this time right.
Easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's
There we go, finally. Finally. I did it.
Expertise shouldn't be overlooked here. If there's anyone to believe, it's the lawyer.
Say what?
Wolfgang has spent his life in the courtroom and on the crime scene. He'd understand the criminal mind in ways we can't possibly imagine. He was even emotionally invested in a murder case he'd never seen before. If his lawyer's intuition tells us that the killer was in the wrong, then we have no reason to disagree.
I knew it was that one, it just took me a while to actually grab it and hit it.
We're all ultimates for a reason. We need to trust in talent.
Well spoken. If Wolfgang is adamant about the killer's intentions, we should have faith in him.
Yeah! Wolfgang's clearly trying his best for us.
Here's the reason. With Ulysses, I don't think he'll ever be a killer.
Let's trust in the lawyer and
Because as he said, he always writes everything down. So there'd be a clear admission of guilt.
Hey! If it means going home, then new guy's convinced me.
However, I do think he'll be a helpful person in future chapters and trials.
Right on! Team Wolfgang all the way!
Thank you all for your support.
Well, Eva, do you still disagree?
Even if I did, it's not worth pursuing. Does this mean we're done here? Hey! We're disembodied boys! We've figured out your stupid case! Now let us leave!
You're finally done.
He went to sleep.
In all honesty, I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
What? We only went through this case because of you.
Silly me, I have a short attention span. So, just for my own benefit, why don't you summarize the information you've learned? It'll be good practice.
Practice. That means more is on the way.
Fine. I'll do as you ask. I'll present the truth.
we'll present the truth together. Let's dig into it.
I think, yeah. Let's see. Yep, it means comic time. Oh, Q, you need to flip between pages. One. Oh, it gives hints. That's super neat. What? However, it's not letting me. What? Oh, there we go. I was just confused about the controls. I was confused about the controls because I'm controlling multiple things at once. It makes a lot of sense.
The victim was Kara Koshkinen, the ultimate teacher's aide. Right before her death, she was wandering around the academy carrying a large assault rifle. That was probably when our unnamed killer, who was armed with a knife, spotted her.
And decided he'd put her to eternal rest. He slid inside that little janitor's closet, where he began hatching a deadly scheme.
They needed a way to surprise the victim, who was better armed. The killer grabbed a bottle of bleach from the closet and poured its contents into a bucket.
Yep.
That's because they wanted to blind Kara by splashing the bleach in her eyes.
Sneaky little bastard.
But to do that, they would need to set a trap and catch the victim by surprise. The killer moved a stepladder behind the closet door and climbed up it to reach the door frame. There, they carefully placed the bucket.
That way, when the victim opened the door, the bucket would empty its contents all over her.
After completing this setup, the killer retreated to the far end of the janitor's closet and waited for the victim's arrival.
Rattle, rattle.
The killer could have made noise to attract the victim's attention. Either way, the victim tried to open the door.
And, the bleach splashed all over her. Her scalp, face, and eyes were severely burned.
Youch!
The killer leapt from his hiding place and began viciously attacking.
Yeah, the remix.
In his fit of rage and cruelty, he stabbed her from the front 28 times.
While being stabbed, the victim tried to fight back by clawing at the killer. This left the dried blood under her fingernails. However, it didn't deter the killer, and the victim eventually died.
At present, we don't have enough information to reveal the killer's true identity, but their actions haven't been forgotten.
That's true.
That is the truth behind this case. Well, are you satisfied?
A measly 3 acts. Poor Horace would be beside himself.
Who the hell is...
No one cares! We've done your end of the bargain. Now let us out already!
That is what I promised, isn't it? Alright, I'll let you leave this room. But before I do, may I be frank with you all for a second? This entire time I've been hiding behind a speaker, afraid to show my face. My heart tells me you'll react cruelly to it. However, my head, it raises a compelling argument. Who cares what others think? Shouldn't I get to have a little fun once in a while? Yes. Let's do away with these silly boundaries already. It's time we meet face to face.
We get to see the mastermind.
What was that all about?
Everybody, look over there!
Oh, we get the smoke scene. Goat Man.
Toss away those pickaxes, peasants. The walls have finally crumbled.
I love his design.
What will you do now that you've reached the other side? Will you treasure this new land? Serve it?
I love the design.
Or will you set it ablaze?
Pay attention to his character art on the left fully. He's gray.
Well, peasants, have you made your choice?
He's the mysterious gray from the comics.
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
Are you the speaker guy?
Speaker guy? No.
You can see it.
Don't address your superiors like that.
You can even see it on this art as well.
Within the halls of this academy, you'll refer to me by one name, and one name only.
Oh, we get to learn his name.
Highness, the great and powerful Tozu, host of the Killing Game.
Tozu. Very nice. Killing Game. Is this how the class trial ends?
Well done.
Or you can call me Tozu for short. What do you mean, Killing Game? Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Quite the contrary. This is only the beginning. Of what? Isn't it obvious? You, my dear subordinates, are going to kill each other. That's not funny. But you said we could go home if we solve the mystery. I gave you peasants an incentive. It's not my fault you took it the wrong way. What are you talking about? You lied to us? Lied? Oh no, absolutely not. I'm a fair man, a man sworn to the truth. And if I recall correctly, Zhu, I'll grant the right answer. You will be free to leave this place. No one can. He was just meant the room.
You... not okay!
There you go, losing control of your voice. That's how you know you lost the argument. Logic is cavalry thing. Like that. And it'll jump ship the moment it's confronted with a challenge. He didn't lie, did he? He said he never lies. So when he said he was this was Eden Gardens Academy, what am I doing believing someone like him? There's no other people around it. He's lying. Hey, why didn't you tell us about your dumb game sooner? Watch you peasants run away? I can't host a game without any contestants. Please don't do this. I just want to go home. I want to go to my family. Please, just let me go home. There's no need to cry, Miss Tollner. Huh? We're all civilized here. No one's going to kill simply because they're ordered to. What's this? The peasant has a rebuttal? A match between unprepared, unfit players. You could hardly call that a match. In much the same way, this game you propose, a killing game, between students who don't have the heart to kill. Do you seriously think we're abandoning our morals so quickly? Yeah, that's totally right. We're like super boring people. We don't have what it takes to do something like that. My heart is terribly soft. softer than the most delicate piece of mochi. When I see a fly in the room, I catch the poor dear in the jar and return her to nature. My mochi heart would melt otherwise. I see. That's your argument, isn't it? So what has you so convinced? What do you mean? What makes you think the people in this room lack the heart to kill? Do you even know anything about them besides their names and ultimate talents? If you do, then tell me, regarding killing, where do they stand? Are they okay with murder if it's for the greater good? Are they okay with murder if it guarantees their survival? Is where they currently stand on an issue the same as where they're willing to stand? Go on, you've had a couple hours to get to know everyone. There's plenty of time to learn their life stories, right? Should I take that as a no? Goodness, what a surprise. Not. You wouldn't be here all dressed up in a fancy suit if you were so naive. Oh, and one more thing. That trial you just did, that was your preparation for the killing game. How? All you did was make us play detective. And for good reason. If one of you is guilty, the remaining students will participate in a true class trial. Your objective here is a simple: uncover the culprit if you can. Use any evidence you gathered during the investigation. You will argue who you believe committed the murder. The result will decide by popular vote. If you choose the right person, they alone will be executed and the killing game will continue. However, if you choose the wrong person, the guilty party will be set free and the rest of you will be executed instead. Those are the rules of the game. Everyone understand? All of us will be executed? That's not fair. Really? I think it's one of the most beautiful rules. Everyone has an incentive to participate in the game, innocent or otherwise.
What's happening?
That's insane. You're treating us like pigs to slaughter? Nonsense. All of you have the chance to survive this game. Do you think the common butcher is so merciful? By the way, if no guilty party ever escapes, the killing game will end when there are only 2 students left. You may want to remember that. Or maybe you don't care. It depends on the kind of person you are. So only 2 students are left? That's a lot of death. Out of the 16 people here, only 2 will be allowed to survive. 2 people? That's hardly better than if someone gets away with murder. I know. That what makes it so fun. Most of you will die no matter what, and yet with every passing trial, you all cling to life more desperately. And with that exact mindset, what causes more murders to happen? Are these rules simply brilliant? A perfect test of the limits of human compassion. I can't wait to see all of you in action. Ha 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 ha. The madman's loud, tinnitus-inducing laugh was suddenly cut off by a well-timed strike from behind. She's gonna die.
Stop it! Since you've made it clear you won't listen to reason, I'll just make sure you have no arms to kill with!
Keep in mind, we have 16 students. In the original Danganronpa, there was 15, but hidden 16th one. We've already seen the full 16.
Do you even listen to when I talk?
Now, there could always be Junko at the end, like, oh, it was me all along. But I don't think they're going to do that since there's no Monokuma.
I'm not the one doing the killing. It's you lot who are...
Grace dove her fist directly into his stomach. She followed with another blow and another, and when it looked like she wasn't going to be satisfied until he was dead, I saw it. From out of nowhere, a tiny red dot appeared on Grace's face.
Hey! Stop already! There's a...
But before we could do anything, she's dead. She's dead. Or not. What? Oh, they missed. Well, look in the direction the shot came from. The shooter stood silently by the pillar, a trail of smoke rising from the mouth of her rifle. Her mask, the design was a panther instead of a goat, but it was clear that she was working with him. It's Tozu's wife.
For real?
Everyone slowly backed away from Tozu, suddenly fearful of their lives. Cough. What a shocking, unnecessary display of violence. You think? I was talking about the golfer woman. Well, now that you've become acquainted with our enforcer Mara, if any new kids try to jeopardize the killing game, such as by attacking me, she'll be there to put an end to your shenanigans.
Pardon me.
Even though she misses her shots. That was just a warning. And I assured you it would be unwise to further test her sharpshooting ability.
In any case,
Regardless, I finally have an answer to your previous question. Meh? You asked me if I knew anything about my friends besides their names and talents. Truthfully, I don't. I'll continue to trust them as I do because they're ultimates. Huh? They are charged with the betterment of society. They've proven themselves to be above simple tasks and simple acts of self-interest. Even if you trap us, fire guns at us, and force us to endure partial courtroom procedures. He's right. Grace was trying to compose herself, still, clearly shocked by her run-in with death. No matter how weird these guys are, they're talented. Do you really think an ultimate will fall for this? That's right. My friends and I have too much to live for and too much to achieve. We won't throw it all away for your killing game.
don't get it mixed up.
You all are going to escape. We're all going to escape. We have to. One by one, the students raised their voices in solidarity with Wolfgang. All of them were so confident in what they were saying, so willing to blindly put their faith in each other. And for some reason, it made me sick. Never underestimate the strength of the human connection. I am quite familiar with this idea. What kind of captain would I be if I can't even handle a small group of 15? What is this horrible feeling of contempt? Why do I feel this way when everyone seems so hopeful? The voice inside me was answered by another. You've got it all wrong. The students turned their attention towards Eva, surprised by her words. Eh? You actually believe no one here would try to kill? You're really naive. I don't know how you made it as a lawyer. Well, instead of resorting to random ad hominem attacks, why don't you explain your reasoning? It's obvious. Compared to normal people, ultimates are more prone to killing, not less. Living with constant praise from the public has ruined our sense of self. If you need examples, just look around the room. Excuse me? In the outside world, orphans will do anything to further their own goals. The same is probably true here. Once you realize dreams can only be achieved if they escape, you'll resort to murder.
Can't you see?
If you continue to convince all these people to trust each other, you'll only be more vulnerable. Unless that was your plan all along? Is it possible you want to make everyone vulnerable? So that it'll be easier for you to kill them? That's enough. Suddenly, Ingrid stepped in front of Wolfgang protectively. Wolfgang's done nothing wrong. He's given all of us a vote of confidence. Yeah. It's something we all needed. So, stop trying to turn us against each other, please. The horrible feeling grew stronger as the other students admonished Eva. It grew stronger and stronger. I knew I had to say something. Eva's right. Huh? Damn it, not you too.
I know.
Look, I get it. You want to make the situation less scary for everyone. But Eva made a good point. All of us have a clear motivation to leave this place, even at the cost of other people's lives. Whether to see our families again or for the sake of our talents. No, I would never kill anyone.
That's not it.
Diana, you yourself admitted you had too much to achieve. Don't you see how that's playing into the masked man's hands? This whole more ultimates thing is pretty insane anyways. After meeting all of you, it's clear none of us have the same goals.
Hold on.
What are you insinuating? Don't we all carry the same obligation to improve the world we live in? His question angered me more than anything that had been said before. I could no longer suppress my true feelings. Look, the title barely means anything nowadays, right? Most ultimates are just dullards, obsessing over some pointless hobby. Their talents don't contribute anything or work. The only thing they're capable of is leeching off public attention for their own goals. Ouch.
You've got to be kidding me.
Running a business that feeds millions is pointless. Some of you are an exception, though. But come on, there's no way the rest of you can improve the world we live in with your niche fixations.
That was very...
Don't you mean the rest of us? You're an ultimate too. You know, what the heck makes you think you're so special? I can feel their words warming their way into my soul. What makes you so special? Well, I can actually achieve many things with my talents. I can argue policy, consider ethics and morality. Better yet, I was the one who got you guys through that trial.
Really?
Is that really what happened? Remember all of us helping out?
Shrimp?
Yo, I see what's going on. You think you're better than us just because you can say no words nobody understands. That kind of stuff is relative. Like, tell me what a dragster is. Do you know? Watch your step, lest your tread and fall from the unparalleled heights of your vanity.
Not good enough.
I'm disappointed in you. How are you so concerned about making yourself look good when you're in the middle of a death game? Wait, I wasn't trying to. It's no use. They turned against me, hurling obscenities, scowling and simply shaking their heads. Phew, do I sense anger, hatred, unquestionable sense of bloodthirst? Well, save that for later. I'm the only one who could spill blood in the courtroom. Nobody will take your back to the killing game arena. We cleaned up the crime scene and prepared a dorm room for each of you. Thanks. Now you can get lost. Okay. A bizarre mechanicism that brought him into the room, but with the two of them into the ground out of sight. It's like when Koda when Sayaka was dead. Because it happened in his room. So we're not going to kill anyone, right guys? No matter what happens, we all got to make it out here, okay? It was only when the madman had left that reality truly began to set in. I'm trapped in a killing game with people who despise me. Yeah, I feel like she's gonna be first too. I feel like the first 4 characters we came across, they're gonna survive pretty far. I just want to help. I wanted to make sure we didn't trust each other too easily. However, yeah. And now I'm being treated like the bad guy. Will these people practice what they preach? Will they really refuse to kill? You can't trust anyone here. For the better or for the worse, it's me versus them. So cue the beginning of the end. The beginning of an unfathomable nightmare and a molten despair. Beginning of the killing game. The music. The intro. Finally. Valves woven by stitches and needless. The surviving members 16. To be continued. And that was the prologue. It's pretty odd that they show the mastermind that early on, though. There's something off about that. It's going to take a long time for a full release. If I recall correctly, they're going to release it by chapter. Technically, the goat guy is the mastermind, but also like the mascot. Oh, now I see what you mean. Never mind, I misread it. It's gonna be Junko again. Junko will be the mastermind. Or they go my route and have Leon be the mastermind. Honestly, it's probably going to be like a long while chapter 1 comes out, depending on how much progress they already have. Like, they could have a lot of stuff already done, but there's no telling. I just know when it releases, I'm going to be streaming it. No matter when it comes. Because I waited like a month to stream this, between me being sick and being at home. It was going to be yesterday, but I wanted to play Garton instead. For like it's just something small. I'm still waiting for Andy's Apple Farm Chapter 2. It's going to be a long while though, as well. The devs gave an update a couple of days ago and they still have a lot to do. I guess that's all. Yeah, just the basic stuff. But yeah, that was the... Yeah, Andy's Apple Farm is getting a Chapter 2. It's just taking a while. Because the creator's trying to do more than just little basic core mini games that glitch out. Yeah, that was the prologue for Project Eden's Garden. I do plan to have a few more Danganronpa fan games to play in the future. It'll probably happen at some point. Probably do it in between Persona streams every now and then, because I need to speed through that game still. So that's it. Alright, that's all I got planned. Bye.